Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 319. We're rolling a little light tonight, but we do have Sean RGC will pop in any minute. Actually, he just said he's going to be a few minutes late. But MVG will be back next weekend, as well as Max, I'm sure, because we'll have the PlayStation Showcase to look back on and go over. But we will be talking about that tonight, giving some of our thoughts, predictions on the whole thing. We do have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Got a whole week plus with it, so I thought we'd revisit and talk about our thoughts on it now. Mortal Kombat 1 got unveiled. A lot to go over with that one.
Solid CG trailer.
Yeah. And Xbox going through it again, except now they got the approval in the EU, and according to some places, there's a lot of pressure on them, especially with Starfield, and it might be their last chance from what I've seen. So we'll all of that though tonight. Let's start though, Evan, with a Discord question.
Why do devs do weird things like put difficulty normal as a story-oriented mode, hard as the way developers wanted you to play it, and insane as just slightly hard? Basically, why have they shifted difficulties to sound like normal is, normal and not easy?
They don't want to make the normal people feel bad.
Yeah, it's basically
there you go.
They don't want to make me feel bad when I play on easy.
Well, there was the new Marvel game. They did a talk about it, and they said, like, even when you lose in that game, it doesn't tell you lose. It tells you retreated, and like that alone, that little step was enough to make more people happy with playing the game, just because it didn't make you feel like a piece of shit for sucking. So.
Like when your Pokemon faints instead of dies.
Yeah. That's Josie though. Josie with us tonight. Josie, thanks for joining us. It's good to have Josie here. We got OJ, Player Essence, holding up the pre-stream, stopping him for the mainstream.
Of course, nobody shows up. Nobody shows up when I was right about Tears of the Kingdom selling so fast. Of course, nobody wants to. Everybody doubted me.
Where was Sean? He didn't pop into the pre-stream.
Nope. I didn't see any video. I was waiting.
Oh man. we got Jordan Fringe.
Yo. Good to
have
here.
Jordan here, working on some big projects over there, but taking the time to stop by, talk some games with us.
Yeah, just a little bit.
People have to keep an eye on your channel because it sounds like some ridiculous stuff going to happen over there.
Yeah, I think this week alone, somewhere in the realm of 12 to 13 hours worth of video is coming out.
All right, yeah, that'll be interesting. Definitely. I just want to see people's reaction when they see one of those uploads.
There's going to be one that's going to be pretty interesting.
We got Evan here with us, of course, tonight.
Yep.
And we'll wait for Sean. He'll make some kind of entrance, I'm sure, here pretty soon. But we did go over the first Discord question. Evan, let's go over a second one before we talk about some Zelda.
When do you think we'll get the next NSO Game Boy drop, and what are you hoping to see added next?
Well, I think that question was asked before the Game Boy Advance games got dropped, like yesterday or something, because I thought I saw it pop in the Discord. But I mean, we have Mario Advance, the three of them going in. Well, we have 3 of the Mario games for the Game Boy Advance going in. After this, though, I feel like they'd throw a Game Boy game in just for the basic tier, which, hey, you know what? Pokemon trading card game. I'm ready for it. Throw it in there.
Hopefully we can get Zero Mission sort of soon, too.
Zero Mission would be good as well, just to keep the Metroid train going. But I would like to get the Pokemon trading card games. That's one of the games I really remember from back in the day with the big Pokemon craze. It's a very basic looking game now, but I have a lot of nostalgia for that one. So I would like to see it.
It's still a great game.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, Jordan, because you brought up a good point that a lot of the cards, the rules, they are long phased out now.
Luckily, when re-going through it for a video I did earlier this year, it very much has like its own way of working. So like it's similar to the original card game, but it's established its own style that is completely unique. So I can see why it would still be okay to be out because it's so far removed.
We still need card pop to get certain cards, don't you? I wonder if they'll figure something out for that.
Yeah, that'd be
where you do the 2 IR sensors at the top. You used to have to find somebody else with a Game Boy Color so you could hold it up against it, and it would give you a random card from the library. And there were like 5 or 6 cards, I think, that were exclusive to Card Pop, something like that.
Yeah, there's a couple that are in both. And it sucks that we never got the second one over here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them adding that in as like a translate. I mean, that's a lot of work probably for them, and there is a fan translation now, so
yeah.
I get what you're saying, like in official terms. So Oh, look at that. Sean joining in right as we're about to talk about Zelda.
I told you I was going to be late.
Just got in here just before. We just did a few Discord questions and some introductions. OJ dunked on you a bit for the sales, and now we're here.
Oh, there's nothing to dunk on me about. Why? There's my camera.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
It is the fastest selling Zelda game now.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. Over 10 million copies already selling. In Japan, a 50% digital ratio almost, it seems. So it's people, if it might have sold out in some places in Japan, I wouldn't be shocked. And they were just like, I'm just gonna buy this digitally. I need it right now. But it is the fastest selling Zelda game. It is it's on track to probably pass Hogwarts Legacy as well before the end of the year, making it, I think it's gonna end up being the best selling game of the year, just overall. But we had a bit over a week with it now. Yeah, I know some of us bought it like from the Australian region and stuff to get it early, but for the most part, we've had it for a week. I wanted to revisit our thoughts on it because going through some of the stuff now, there's a lot that I didn't experience when we talked about it the first time, and I didn't want to just. This is probably going to end up being the highest rated game of the year. I wanted to make sure we got all of our thoughts, as many as we can, into this one. So I am at the end of the game. I have one more mission to do, but I decided to roam around the world now and power up Link a bit more. I'm not sure where everyone else is right now.
Dude, I'm just still doing nothing.
About where I am.
I'm still just doing random stuff at the beginning of the game. Like I've progressed a little bit, but there's so much like side content to do in the depths. So I've just been like doing a ton of that. Like I didn't have the amiibos, so I'm actually like collecting a lot of the like.
Nobody had the amiibos on here. Well, Josie did, but she's a child.
Hey.
Some people
have some of the amiibos.
Have all the amiibo costumes. Like I didn't use any of the amiibo stuff, so I've just been exploring the depths, been mapping that out a lot. It's super fun, man.
Oh yeah, what do the amiibos do? What? Hold on. What do I get for Link with the Ocarina?
I don't know. Some of them get you outfits. I know Austin John did a video on it.
I have to check that out.
Do I get anything for Ridley or Mega Man? No. Yes.
I think it's just like random stuff. Like Breath of the Wild had amiibo support. Like you just get like random like food and stuff for a lot of the amiibos. Like it's nothing like. But there are. I guess there's like some outfits or something like that. But like you can get most of them like in the depths or something. Or
yeah, I'm going through the depths now to get the classic tunic, the green tunic. Yeah. Because I wanted to power that up. Yeah. Okay. There's one. See, I wanted to power that one up. So I'm searching right now for that stuff. But I think I'm halfway to 20 hearts now. Like I have 19 and a half basically. The second stamina bar. I mean, it's not the Master Sword, that kind of stuff. It's all done.
It's in the
spoiler.
Game. I didn't know there was.
Yeah, who would have thought the Master Sword's in the game?
Spoiler alert.
I didn't tell anyone where it is because gonna put the better pull than the Breath of the Wild for like pulling the sword. It's a better pull. But it's the game's good. Man, that's good.
A lot of fun.
Game's really good. It's the interesting thing about it though is I've put a lot of time into this game now, and I'm still not really tired of the open world. A lot of times I'll get through like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed or something, especially now. And I know Jordan probably feels this Assassin's Creed, but you do get some fatigue from the open world a bit. I'm not getting it with this one. I don't know, Jordan. That's something you feel with like Assassin's Creed as well. Like you kind of know what I'm saying, where you just kind of look out and you're like, that's right. All right.
Yeah,
still doing this.
I feel like that's also partial to just the game design and the way the game looks. I think with Assassin's Creed having, photorealism at this point with their worlds makes things less noticeable or less exciting. Or maybe just in general, there's just a lack of interesting things to do, as it's just, I don't know. That's what I feel after like 130 hours of the last one. But with Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom, I feel just walking around here, I'm always finding something new that's going to distract me. And that's been the interesting part, is the world just looks beautiful. It's constantly evolving and moving and looking different. And it's just interesting. And obviously here, I think I'm the person who's played it the least, like officially now, aside from Evan. Yeah. So yeah, there's just, I don't know. In my time with it, I think it's done right with things to do. I'm not bored at all.
That's kind of how I'm feeling as well. And everyone's going through it in different ways, different paths, and people are like, "Oh, this is the first shrine I did, and I haven't even done it yet." So, like, you see people on Twitter posting all their crazy creations. They got some where it's like there's like a
clip. Did you see that crazy combat clip?
There's probably I did the one where they're jumping around, having arrows that are like rapid fire hitting them and doing all kinds.
Like when they were fighting like the construct and like he had like a rocket like shield and he's like basically like Rocket Boy or something like that.
I see the one where the person had like it's like this death ship that like goes up and just starts blasting lasers everywhere and stuff too.
Yeah. Some people are making like Gundams almost. It's like it's pretty crazy.
I'm not doing all that. I'm just like attaching a log to a fan and hoping it gets me across the cavern. I'm not that good. So I'm just I think the best things I've built is probably just a glider that had a control stick on and got me around. That was kind of it.
Build a like a hover, there's like the schematic for like a hover cart, and then I made it even better like on water, because if you put a piece of wood on there like a board, it'll balance it out to where you can really like wave race it. So I was just like doing that like an underground cave. Like found like this big old huge ravine, and like I went to like this underground cave and there was like crap on both sides to do, and I'm like, wow, this is fun. So I'm just going through and like looting the whole place and like fighting stuff and like riding on my little jet ski or hover thingy that I made. So that was cool.
Yeah, I'm in the depths more than I thought I would. They're much larger than I was expecting to. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I figured they'd wall you off at times. Now there's a lot happening down there. So it's been. What about you, Sean? How you feeling right now with Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm still playing it a lot. It's very enjoyable. I don't want it to end, so I'm kind of dicking around on
you're at the end of the game too. Like there's basically you get missions and quests as you go. There's a quest that's very obviously like, this is it. Gather your stuff, get ready, kind of thing, right? That's where I am now. So yeah. I'm basically doing this. I'm just wandering around, finding some shrines here and there. I mean, I think this is the perfect time to do it. People, of course, can go through and not do the main temples and stuff. I feel like just do the temples to get all the abilities that they'll give you, and then go off and do whatever you want. Just to it makes, I think, the world a bit easier at times to get around. There's one specific power, I guess, that makes, for example, the depths easier because of all the gloom everywhere. So it's been good though. It's been good. I'm pleasantly surprised by almost every shrine. Some of the shrines I get to, you just walk in and touch the thing, and
those are my favorite.
Those are your favorite ones, really?
Yeah.
Really? Those ones where you don't do anything?
Yeah,
I can see that.
Nice and easy. Get it done, out of the way. Go about your day.
I think I've done almost 70 shrines now, and those are the ones where I walk in and I'm like, oh, because I think when you're doing loading screen, it tells you how many shrines you've done. And I think earlier today it was like 68, and I definitely did like another 3 or 4.
I'm definitely enjoying the shrines more this time around.
The shrines are better. They're a lot better. Yep. Last one I did, it was like a little miniature golf thing, little golf course thing. You had to like knock the ball into the spot.
I did that one last. I think I posted a little clip on it too. But yeah, I did that one recently. It's pretty fun.
Some of these are very they're very clever. A few of them. So
it seems like Breath of the Wild shrines was just kind of more like, you can solve them different ways, but they're kind of just like dumbly complicated at times, or just like not fun. Like I think the problem was that it wasn't fun. It was like, let's just make this tricky. Like these are tricky, but they're also fun, you know.
Also, I see people bypass someone completely by building a little contraption out of it, and I see people just fly across. And I mean, Alnima said, "Hey, if you can figure that out, do it. Whatever." So it's the story is better here than it was in the first one as well. There's a lot more going on, a lot more explanation without having to go out of the way to find it. It's just a better Breath of the Wild. It's just better in every way. I'm trying to think of anything that Breath of the Wild does better, and I can't come up with anything.
The world feels a lot more like built out too. It's like there's just so much to do, to talk to, like every NPC you talk to, they're gonna give you something valuable. It's not like Breath of the Wild where they kind of just repeat the same stuff over and over. At least they always have some sort of side quest or something. It's been pretty cool.
I've noticed that. A lot of red exclamation points everywhere. Like you just see a couple people talking, and it's like, go up there as a side quest, and the side quest will take you 2 hours to complete because there's so much stuff to it.
And most of it's optional too, which I like.
Yeah.
Like you actually have to seek it out more so than it being thrusted into your face.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of stuff to upgrade, to go through, like get your battery meters to upgrade, you got your armor to do, and it's just a really good game. And the interactivity in the world is very impressive still. I've not broken the game yet, which is impressive because I've seen how some games have come out recently.
Yeah, I haven't like glitches and stuff.
I think anything happened. Yeah, I figured something would happen, but nothing.
The only thing that happened to me is that like one of like the bokoblins, like the skeletal ones, went into a wall. Like the head went into a wall, and I smacked the crap out of it, and like I couldn't hit it, and then it like popped out later. So that was the only.
I'm trying to think now because I feel this feels like the pinnacle of their Breath of the Wild formula, but they want to keep doing the open world stuff. That's like, it is kind of the new direction for the series. I don't really know what they do now. I think
they're probably going to bring a lot of the traditional Zelda stuff back into it and sort of make it a little bit more linear, but still keep the open world to keep it kind of optional.
Hub world, that's the set. Like A Link Between Worlds, I think, is a good. I think they're gonna look at that. That one you can do different. Like it's traditional dungeons, but you can do them in whatever order you want.
Yeah, you can rent stuff.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be something similar to that. But I mean, it would be silly to go back to complete traditional Zelda. I mean like Ocarina of Time, like Zelda. I think that would be a bad move because they're selling so much of this style. Like this open world style is clearly working.
Right.
Skyward Sword obviously is more traditional, and that didn't do anywhere near as well. Same thing goes for Link's Awakening. Really, I mean, that's a different style of game. But I think it's like I agree with Josie. I think they're going to kind of take some traditional cues, maybe Link Between Worlds, make it to where you can do any. Because like old Zelda's like you have to like do it in like order. Like it was like you have to go here, then you have to go there, then you have to get this item to do this thing. Like that is where I think they don't want that. Because like Mr. Alnuma said in the interview, like, hey, we kind of don't like. There's too many restrictions with that. We want people to just be able to play. So I think dungeons in any order, and then you can get items and maybe you can have a little bit more help. I think that'd probably be like the way to go.
Jeff makes a good point in the chat too. Jeff Grubb, where he mentioned that they'll be able to do a lot more with a better CPU in their next system as well with this, which it is very impressive to consider they're doing a lot of this on the X1 from 2015. Yeah. So you bring in a better chip and everything. They could. I'm trying to think of what else they'll be able to do then. I don't know. It's that the system is definitely the Switch here is definitely taking a beating from this game. It is trying so hard, but it's doing its best. That's all I can really say because I noticed it. There's one boss that it might have been the last one. No, second to last one I did. It was definitely affecting the game, like the experience, the frame rate, because there's a lot of enemies on screen and it was struggling. And it then asked me to do dodging for flurry rush and all of this, and it did not feel great. So that's the next thing I hope is that they have this game go to the next system, port it backwards compatible, whatever they got to do with a patch, so I can go back through it maybe at 60 frames, and then with their next game they can do more, but also keep it within reason for performance. So that is and I guess when they go to the next game, they're gonna clean slate the whole thing. Like they're not gonna use this map again. I assume they're gonna clean slate it. It'll be a whole new adventure for Link and Zelda and maybe again.
Probably different timeline. Probably like one on the separate, like there's like 3. Probably one of the games like on a separate timeline than the current one that we're on. And then probably I don't know, just do some different things like Josie said.
You think they just make it even bigger? Stuff. They just go for an even larger area, like they have this area, but then they go, oh, there's an entire ocean as well. There's continents.
Oh, I don't know if they'll go. I'm not sure if they'll do all that. That'd be crazy.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people wanted like underwater exploration, so they might take that step.
Okay.
I think that'd be kind of.
You could build like a submarine, and just like roll around.
They got to get some good water mechanics because water mechanics in game are usually pretty.
They're terrible.
It's like water and ice worlds. Like who likes?
Yeah,
them?
like.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't stand underwater stuff. Like I really can't. Like it's never done well. Sometimes it's done well, but a lot of times it's just not done very well. Like I know, like Ocarina. Like I know people always talk like that water temple, and I hated it back then.
Garbage.
Yeah, I hate it. And they fixed it in the 3D version. They fixed it. It's a bit better, but it still sucks. Like so, like I've never liked underwater stuff in any game. Even like, what do you guys think about? Like, I know this is kind of going off topic, but like Mario Bros. Like, what do you guys think about the underwater levels in like Mario? I've never loved those.
You mean like swimming around in the
like swimming like Mario 1
ones.
Or or even Mario 64 has underwater exploration.
The problem
too.
you run into with these games is when you're not underwater, it basically sells itself on being a very precise platformer, 2D or 3D. And then you get in the water and everything just feels like you have limited to no control over what's going on. So I think that's the biggest issue you run into is that really how contrasting both of those settings are. You know what's interesting though is Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, they did actually some pretty cool stuff with their underwater, where they have like a mechanical bird like that can not only fly but can also dive into the water, and it moves pretty well to where I could see them maybe building around that with their final game in what I seem to be a trilogy.
They would need to improve it, but Majora's Mask, you could become a Zora, and that was the whole
that was
purpose
cool.
of that. That was actually awesome.
That was really cool.
And I think like Mario 3, the frog suit helped with the water too. So if you had the frog suit, it was good, you know. But you had to have the frog suit. Yeah.
When you became a Zora though, and you were like able to just like
you could actually come out, break surface.
You became like a torpedo.
Skip. It was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's maybe they go water. Maybe Link goes to space.
That was a thing. That was a thing that people thought was going to be in this game, which was insane.
Galaxy.
But
imagine you have to build a rocket and then you go to like another planet in the game, and it's just they just have a solar system. That's their next step.
They cross over with Metroid.
Yeah, but when you go to space, you go to die in space.
Okay, well, what if they do like what if they have it so there's different you time travel back and forth between worlds again? And they have different continents there. I'm just trying to think out how they would change the formula up, but still keep it open world. But that's for them to figure out, because apparently what they do is they create the concept and then they make the story afterwards. That's what they said. So that's first and foremost for them is gameplay and concept.
I feel like going with a bigger open world might not be the option though, because it might just get too overwhelming for players. So maybe they just do something else to differentiate it, because if it gets too big, I'm not going to be able to get through it.
Same size, but continue to make it more and more dense as they go, just more and more stuff to do in it. Okay, yeah, they could even pursue maybe trying to make it more like a living world, kind of like what they did with Majora's Mask a bit, where there's a set schedule, and when you slow down time, people would just walk really slow then. So there's a lot of things they can do with it, but hey, great game. Immediately becomes my favorite game of the year so far. There's a lot still coming out, but this is obviously going to be the front runner for game of the year, as people are already saying. So
without spoiling anything, the bosses in this game are so good. They're so much better than Breath of the Wild. I've been having so much fun with them.
Yes, you did the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. You said you did the wind temple
and the fire one.
The fire one. Okay, yeah. The wind one. I'm trying to think out of the temples, I think the wind one might have been my favorite one, just because it was different.
Yeah, it was fun.
The temples still kind of follow a similar structure though, for the most part. I don't want to say it's Divine Beast 2.0, but it's still kind of close to it. It's just the settings are different, as they said. Like it's different regional aspects to it. So, but I think I'm gonna wrap this game up in probably this week coming up, because then we got Diablo 4 coming to play that, and Street Fighter. Even though I don't play Street Fighter, I'll still try it.
Diablo 4.
Yeah, I'll give Diablo another shot.
Is it on Game Pass?
Be a good game.
Was it on Game Pass?
This Xbox YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Game Pass.
It's gonna be good. I mean, everybody from the
it's not on Game Pass.
Yeah, it'll probably be out on Game Pass for the end of the year at this rate.
And the beta, people said the beta was good. The game was fun.
People really like it, so I'll give it a shot.
I'm boycotting it.
Oh gosh,
why?
I'll give it.
Just act Blizzard.
I'll give it a shot. But if it's Diablo 3 just had a lot of issues when it launched because of their auction house and all that weird stuff.
Oh my god, dude!
The online connectivity.
Yeah, Diablo. I had such a terrible experience with Diablo 3 when that launched. I was like, I'll never give into this hype again with Diablo. But I mean, Diablo 4 is probably gonna be better. So.
Yeah, I'll give Diablo 4 a shot, and then Street Fighter, because Street Fighter does look pretty good, even though I'm not a fighting game person. It looks fun, so I'll give it a shot. Evan, we
coming
have
to the Switch, right? Oh, sorry, that's not coming to the Switch, right?
No, that's Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, PS5. I don't know if it's on Xbox One. Capcom's doing this weird thing where they do PS4 but not Xbox One a lot of times.
Oh, you mean, Street Fighter is on PS4. It's not on Xbox One. It's on. Right. It's on
Series. Yes, Xbox Series.
Yeah,
but PS4, PS5, PC.
Yeah. PS4.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. Cool. All right. Good. You have a Series S, right, Josie?
I do.
There it is. See, there we go. Okay. Evan, we have a Discord question over there.
All right, we'll go through maybe some of these Tears of the Kingdoms. One, do you think there's any chance of the Sheikah Ruins, Guardians, and Champions abilities appearing as DLC in Tears of the Kingdom?
I feel like that was a spoiler.
I honestly don't care.
I just mean like, what was it? The Champions abilities from Breath of the Wild?
That's my guess. Yeah.
I do wonder what they're going to do for DLC for this game, because they're definitely doing DLC.
I feel like if they were to add that kind of stuff, that would take away, that would just like make it so similar to Breath of the Wild. Like,
yeah, but I do want Rivali's Gale though. I need that back.
Yeah,
bring that back. You'll be able to jump 50 feet in the air whenever I want.
Just get yourself a Zonai Spring, buddy. Got yourself a Zonai Spring, buddy.
Yeah,
Old school
put
way.
the springs on top of each other, and then if you have the auto build ability, just you could have that, and then you could just
boing, 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 boing.
if you put like an apple on a spring, it puts it in your auto build, so that way you'll never really run out of the spring.
See, Sean's like Sean's strategizing over there. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious what DLC is anyway. I no clue what they're gonna do here. Last time they gave us a motorcycle, so I assume they'll give us some kind of weird vehicle at least.
There's vehicles in the game already, though.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts vehicles.
When you get the not even the ones you build. When you get the
schematics.
No, it begins with an S.
Oh, I know you're talking about the slabs, like the stone slabs or whatever.
Yeah.
That give you auto build. Yeah. There's like there's like hovercraft and others. I know what you mean, but maybe they just give us like a Megazord or something. There you go. I don't know. You can build everything kind of already, so maybe let's double down on that. We have another Discord question, Evan.
Does anyone else find the Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild controls super unintuitive?
This is going around, and the only thing I look at, and well, at first it was the jump and the dash. They had those flipped on me, but apparently I had flipped them a long time ago in Breath of the Wild, and that was me. So maybe I was off. I think the rotational stuff is getting people for some of the things, but I got used to it after a little while. So that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, she's just remembering you have Ascend. I think that's about it. That's about it for me.
I think the controls are very complex. So people who, obviously if you're used to playing like Ocarina of Time, where you can't really do all this stuff, right? Like that's where people are like getting mixed.
It's just
because there's a lot of complex inputs.
Was that Jordan?
It's just the button placements of the actions for your A, B, X, Y. If just a couple of them were swapped around, I feel it'd be easier to execute most things in the game.
You mean like the running, jumping, select, something like that?
Yeah, running and jumping can't be that far apart on the button scheme because it just makes it constantly awkward to switch between those two buttons.
Sometimes I have to do like the claw grip at times to do it.
I have to, absolutely. Yeah.
That does happen. For certain, there are some gaps in platforming that I ran into towards the end of the game where I'm like, oh, I actually have to run and then immediately jump after this. So I have a controller that has the back button, and I used that for a little while, and it helped like a back button, 8-bit Do controller. That worked actually pretty well. But I get what you're saying, Jordan, the kind of the claw grip, rather than hold down Y and then hit B with the bottom of your hand or your thumb.
I always feel run and jump should be right next to each other. Just those two commands should always be the buttons right next to each other.
I agree with that. Otherwise, though, I think it's the rotational thing that's getting people. I think that's what it kind of feels like they ran out of buttons on the controller too, because to detach you have to just wiggle the right stick around a lot until it drops, and that annoys me. I want it to be a button. That's it. Something else that annoys me using abilities, I would rather just have it as a hotkey than have to talk to someone. I guess that's the best way to say it. Because in battle that gets really weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to talk to a certain person, you end up talking to another one.
Yeah, Link can't like shout, he can't yell, like raise his voice, gotta go up to like whisper. Mute. He definitely talks to people sometimes.
He's not mute.
I see him moving. He's doing he's using the hand motion. He's talking with his hands a lot.
Nah, he's a mute.
I would
unless he knows sign language unless those people know sign language.
That's the thing that bothers me, though, is having to run up and talk to them. Like it's like, can't you just like hotkey? I don't know, just something. Hold a button down and press something on the. What happened to the D-pad? We can't use the D-pad now.
So if you had a Wii gamepad, you could just press right. Which one?
We're going backwards. See?
Let's go.
Need the Wii.
Hey.
Let's do that.
Get the Wii U gamepad out.
That's only, I guess, an update, but I don't know. It seems like they set it up how it is now for a reason. So You have another Discord question, Evan?
I think this is the last of the Tears of the Kingdom ones. I asked a while back if Skyrim was a bigger game franchise than Legend of Zelda. I'm guessing he means Elder Scrolls, because
I would say probably just like, yeah, I assume he's talking about Elder Scrolls.
In terms of cultural appeal, you thought Skyrim was bigger, Elder Scrolls, and I kind of agreed, but Tears of the Kingdom has me rethinking. What do you think?
I don't know. It's kind of hard because we haven't had a new Skyrim.
Yeah.
We haven't had a new Elder Scrolls in forever.
Gonna have to wait another 20 years for 6 or whatever that is.
Breath of the Wild took the Zelda franchise to the next level, like in terms of sales, recognition, everything.
There's a high chance of everyone on this podcast, Josie, is going to be the only one alive to play that game.
Yeah.
Very high chance.
Maybe Jordan. Jordan's a bit younger.
Not
but...
Jordan.
Nah, you see Jordan's work ethic. It's not. He's going with us. That's it.
Man,
How old, Svanny? You know he's here, right?
I know.
Jordan hasn't slept in like 3 weeks.
no, I'm working on this big video. What am I debating here? What am I choosing?
You're gonna die with us. You're not gonna die with
He's saying that
Jordan.
you're gonna die soon, despite being almost a decade younger or a decade younger
Not
than
soon.
most
He's
of
going to
us.
die with the rest of us.
Crazy
Because of your work
conversation.
ethic.
We were saying they were
very
saying we
morbid, real
weren't
quick.
gonna make it to Elder Scrolls, the next Elder Scrolls, when it
Yeah,
launches in
I'll
like
make it.
2043.
Yeah, I'll make it.
Just at the end.
I think we need to see the next Elder Scrolls, but I guess you could say especially with Skyrim for a while there, that I mean, yeah, it felt bigger than, I don't know what came out around that time. Was it Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, in that
it was
case,
way,
yeah.
that was way bigger than that game. Zelda had been, on a kind of downward after that, but Twilight Princess was big, but not as big as Skyrim.
Yeah. Swung back around, so there we go.
In terms of importance, I feel like Skyrim kind of created the big open world, though. So it's still like Tears of the Kingdom is really good. It's just perfecting the open world.
But Skyrim didn't create the big
No,
open
it did
world.
not. They've been around for a very long
But it, like
time.
popularized it. Like it brought. I don't know. I feel like
GTA was before.
GTA and Morrowind were probably the earliest that popularized it, I think.
But did they have dragons?
that's a question.
And
Kind of, not ones that flew around and did stuff, more or less.
There it
ones
is,
you
see?
just ran
That's
into
the
and
thing.
talked to.
And well, not to the same degree. I mean, the original Legend of Zelda felt open world to me back when I played it. I know it was a long time. That was well before your time, Josie. But that game was like, it was just kind of like open. You just start out and like
Josie played Ocarina of Time. You played Ocarina of Time.
No, I know. I said the original.
Yeah.
Zelda 1.
A different
Yeah.
room, and then I walk into a different room, and then I walk into a different room. That's a really open world game there, OJ.
No. I said it felt like an open world game back then. It's not an open world
Sorry,
game.
you're old. My bad, you're
Room
old.
game.
Back then, a scrolling screen was a big deal with it.
Yeah, it was a scrolling screen.
That was
You
weird.
can walk anywhere. It wasn't like 2D, like where you go from left to right. It wasn't like most of the games. It was like you can just kind of go anywhere. There's like you can bomb some place and like there's a
ET was like that.
secret
Remember
door.
ET? You could play that game like that. You could
Yeah,
walk
but ET
around
didn't have
around.
labyrinths and all that
But it
stuff.
did
Yeah,
have
you
the
could fall
ability
in
to
a pit, and
save.
you have to use your neck to like lift you back up. It was great.
It was one of the earliest games you could save in as well.
I would say Skyrim definitely brought in a lot of the mainstream though, because Morrowind was kind of obviously rolling with the idea of taking Morrowind or Elder Scrolls into that 3D open world setup.
Jumping
Oblivion?
up and down in a cave till you can leap across the map.
Basically, yeah. But like Skyrim definitely was the first one. I remember a lot of people came into the stores and was like, I need Skyrim. I keep hearing about this thing. I got to get it.
Yeah,
So I did not hear that with Oblivion or Morrowind.
I think, the HD era Skyrim was definitely like, okay, this is like, in terms of fantasy RPGs in the HD era, yeah. So I agree in that sense.
That game ran at like 15 frames a second on the 360.
It didn't, well, no, that was the PS3 version.
Yeah, check the PS3 version.
No, I mean, it was bad on the 360 too, but the PS3 version slowly like destroyed itself from what I
The
remember.
PS3 version didn't work, and reviewers were like 10 out of 10. It like literally didn't work.
Yeah,
That's because
but
like
Cyberpunk
Bethesda
before
had an issue.
Cyberpunk.
Bethesda had an issue with working on the PS3.
Yeah. The autosave wouldn't replace the data on the hard drive. It would keep stacking on top of it. So I remember one person came in and they had 30,000 some odd saves and it just completely X'd out their hard drive. That was it. It was over just because of Skyrim.
Those games, Skyrim and like Fallout, those were like the jankiest, like buggiest games that we all just still played regardless. Like like Fallout 3 to me, like that game crashed almost like every 3 times I booted it up. But I was like, I don't care. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, that was the era where we lived with the 20 frames per second and we were fine. That's how it was. So it was.
Fallout had it slowed down anyway, so I was like, it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, just like
Hey, go back and look at how
system.
Grand Theft Auto 5 ran on those old systems.
I haven't played GTA 5 on like the PS3 or 360.
Yeah, I remember playing on the 360, and now I go back and look at it. I'm like, oh wow. Back then, I was like, this is incredible. PlayStation Showcase, big event this week. We've been expecting it for a little while now. Actually, it's been. I think this was really rumored.
Jeff Grubb.
2 months, a month and a half ago. 2 months. Yeah, Jeff Grubb definitely was the clearest on this, is what I'll say. So hats off to Jeff Grubb with that one, giving us even the week of the 25th. He was close though. He was off by a day, right? Well, hey, you know what? Time zones, we'll just give it to him. But it is happening Wednesday, May 24th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. They say it's going to run a bit over an hour, and it's going to focus on PS5 and PSVR 2 games in development, top studios all around the world. They said expect a glimpse at several new creations from PlayStation Studios, as well as spellbinding games, interesting way to describe it, from our third parties and indie creators. So an hour long. This is the big showcase, not like a state of play, nothing like that. This is where their studios show up, the big third parties show up, and apparently they give us a look at an hour's worth of titles in something that's not a live stage presentation. So I assume it's going to be better editing and pacing and all of this, which makes me feel like we're going to see a lot on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So now the question is, what are they going to show?
It's going to be good. Metal Gear or bust, baby.
Metal Gear. Sean, is this your moment?
It's XSplit's moment.
All right, there. He's stunned. He's stunned into. Okay, now there is. You're just frozen on screen. We said Metal Gear, and I just assumed you were just
if Metal Gear is not at this thing, I want everyone to shut up about Metal Gear. Like dead ass. Like I'm tired of hearing about. Oh, it's coming. If it's not at this thing, shut up.
It's coming.
I don't want to hear about it for the rest of the year or 2024. I don't want to hear about it.
I do. I'm going to keep talking about it till it happens. I'm going to will it into existence. I'm going to keep talking about it.
Is that your biggest want from the show, Sean? Everything that's been talked about and rumored, is Metal Gear Solid 3 getting a remake from, I would say, like sizable backing, so it's not, like a phoned in game. Is that it right there?
No, I want to see everything.
But like is that like your most wanted thing to see? Because I know that game has a lot of history with you.
Yeah, personally.
Are you worried about them remaking it?
No, I don't get worried about it, because I mean, you already have the HD version that you can always play, or it's not like the original version is gonna disappear all of a sudden. I won't be able to ever play it again.
To be fair, they did disappear. Go on.
I mean, yeah, from a digital storefront, but I still have access.
You have the disc. Yeah.
Yeah, disc.
You didn't sell that, did you? Hold on.
Well, no, I still have the Essential Collection on the PS2.
You're good then. Yeah.
But yeah, like if Metal Gear is not here, stop it. Just shut the fuck up about it, because it's so annoying. It's every year. All right, guys, Konami's Castlevania and Metal Gear, they're coming back, and this is the year. Like it's literally been half a decade that we've been hearing about this.
Has it been half a decade since Metal Gear Survive? I don't think so.
I don't know that game. We forget about that game. Right?
I think it has been half it. When did that game come out?
I don't know. Let me see there was a whole year where we made fun of this thing.
Yeah.
It was 2018. 2018.
Yeah, it's been about half a year. Yeah. Or half a decade.
2018, that's 5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Low point for Konami. That's saying a lot. That was the game where they had microtransactions to sell you extra save slots.
Mm-hmm. Which apparently they did in Metal Gear Online, which I didn't remember, but apparently they did that in Metal Gear Online.
Yeah, but Metal Gear Survive had like a wormhole and zombies.
What? I played Metal Gear Online a lot.
I thought they did like where you had to pay for an extra save slot in that game.
Maybe had microtransactions in that game.
I think it might have been a character slot.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe online too. I still think they call it Metal Gear or just Snake Eater. And that's it. Just leave it that. We're good. Virtuosa's doing it, coming out 2024.
Give me that, and give me Spider-Man 2, a nice in-depth look. I assume we're going to get at least 10 minutes.
That's happening, because they showed that up at the last PlayStation showcase in 2021 with just that trailer. So I'm guessing we're going to actually get like a gameplay trailer for this one, for Spider-Man 2.
Do you think Venom's playable?
Yes.
Do you think they show that Venom's playable?
I feel like that's a big selling point. They should be like, look at this.
That would get me so much more. Like that would get me to actually buy the game day. If Venom was playable, like that would get me to buy the game day one more so than just buy it later, like I usually do, like for discount.
I assume Black Suit Spider-Man will be playable, but I mean like Eddie Brock, like Venom, you co-op, or they have different points of the game where you switch between them or something. I don't know. Maybe there's other characters in there we haven't seen yet. Like maybe Carnage is in the game.
Oh my God, yo, Carnage and
I feel like they would hold that for a later thing unless they're planning on just condensing the story.
Green Goblin could be in there.
I'm not as big of a fan, but that'd still be dope. Carnage and Venom though would be incredible.
So Metal Gear Solid 3, we assume we're hoping is there remake. We got Spider-Man 2 lined up. Those are two pretty good reveals right there.
I think Stellar Blade. Got to look at that because people have been hyped for it, but I looked at the gameplay quite a bit, and there's some jank to that game. Like I don't think it's as good as people are trying to hype it up. At least from what we saw. Now they get a new build out there. Sony taking over the publishing with that. So I think once we actually get some real gameplay on that, then it could
high speed action.
It doesn't look as good as Devil May Cry. It doesn't look as, in terms of the little gameplay they've shown, it doesn't look as good as like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or the games like in that same vein. So the graphics just look good and the girl's got a booty. So I mean that's what people are excited for right now. So once we got to actually see the gameplay.
Okay, so we got 3 games there. Thinking
the next portion of Final Fantasy VII is there?
Oh, Rebirth. Interesting. See, my thing with that is I think they're just going to show 16 again for the final push.
Because if you're going to, I mean, you could show that, but then that kind of steps on the toes of 16 right there, right? I know 16 is a different style of game than...
I'm just ready for 16 to come out. I'm good. I'm just ready for it to come out. Yeah. I don't need to see more, but they're probably going to show us like 2 or 3 minutes of it anyway.
Yeah, so, I'm ready for it to come out.
Oh, you know what? Maybe they'll announce the date for the demo for that game for 16.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like a demo. Yeah. Because they just said that there's going to be a demo closer to the release. So, yeah, demo day. That'd be really good because I think that game absolutely needs a demo. There's all people who've never played Final Fantasy that are going to maybe buy this game, Yeah,
so. Why not? That'd be really cool. Like I said, we're already kind of set. Factions, I assume, is here because they have to get their live service multiplayer stuff rolling. So Naughty Dog having a presence here with that. I'm curious the build. I'm curious the structure. Is this the Division? Is this going to be more like an arena kind of thing, like how we had factions on Last of Us back in the day, where you also have different things you can build up for your characters, microtransactions, the whole deal there. But is it free to play? Is it a premium price, $70? Is it going to be on PS5 and PC day one for the live service aspect? That's something I need to see. We need to start hearing about these live service games and see what their strategy is.
Do you think we're going to see Wolverine?
I was about to say that. Wolverine.
Oh, we're going to see Wolverine. Interesting. Because Spider-Man 2 is out this fall, which we should get
apparently September.
I feel like they could wait till next summer. Let's just say this becomes annual now. Like we were kind of expected it to be, but I think threw everything off with the start of this generation. But it could wait. Although I think it'd be interesting if they kind of alluded to everything being connected between Spider-Man and Wolverine, the worlds they're building. So they could show Wolverine as well. Like, I don't think people are gonna be like, well, I'm not buying Spider-Man 2 now because Wolverine looks so good. I think I'll just buy both. So yeah. They could. I mean, Insomniac would really be pulling the system along for the first couple of years, huh? First, like 3/4 of the generation then. Yeah, I'm really curious if Blue Point shows up too.
What they
Blue
remake?
Point. That's the thing. I don't know what they're doing because they keep teasing it. They teased it in the recent Christmas card where they had things referencing. They referenced their Shadow of the Colossus stuff, Demon Souls. There's a box, and no one knows what was in there, obviously, because they left it up to like imagination. So it could be them remaking a game, or it could be them making an original game.
Bloodborne. They're doing Bloodborne.
Oh, that's what people are thinking. They're like, they did Demon Souls. They could do Bloodborne,
They're doing
right?
Bloodborne, finally.
Hey, if Sony shows up and has a showcase that has a Bloodborne remake, Spider-Man 2 gameplay looks incredible, right? A Final Fantasy 16 demo, Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. That's one of those showcase lineups that you see on 4chan and just kind of laugh at. That'd be pretty impressive.
If they had a new Castlevania 2, and like if this stuff was dated, like if they actually provide like dates that aren't 10 years in the future or whatever, like, you know, then that would be good, because the last showcase just had a lot of stuff like that we're talking about right now, right? That's gonna be their Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, you know, Final Fantasy 16. I think that was at the one before that. I think Final Fantasy 16 was at the 2020 showcase. So we're still talking about stuff that hasn't came out yet. There was really only been like God of War, Ragnarok, and maybe a few others, but a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, like, you know, it's been around for a while. So, you know, if they deliver on that and actually give us the dates and then also show off some stuff for the future as well, that'd be good for sure.
I figure Twisted Metal is here because they've been showing off things about the show that's happening. So I feel like they might want to have the video game kind of around it. No clue what Twisted Metal is going to look like, because apparently that's a live service title.
Oh,
I don't really know how that turns out. I don't know really how that's going to be a live service game, but I think they're going to make
zapped away any excitement that I had right there. I didn't know it was going to be a live service game.
I wonder if it's going to be a live service. Like it's an online game a lot, but it's still like kind of the arena blow each other up kind of thing with.
Yeah, but like is there going to be like a big single player campaign that I don't have to be like? That's the like if it's that, then you know I'm down to check it out at some point. But
that's the big question. Yeah, if it will be fully playable offline, full story, linear single player, all that kind of thing. Not sure, but they're really trying with this live service thing. So we'll see. We'll see with that one. Then there is what else to have down here? Third party stuff. New Monster Hunter maybe.
Oh. Yeah, it's about time for a new Monster Hunter, like on PS5 and Xbox Series. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, whatever is after or Monster Hunter World, right? Yeah. In that kind of set, because they have Monster Hunter that they've really launched well, starting with the Switch and then moving to other platforms now. Then they would do that with World 2 or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
They have 2 series of Monster Hunter games running, which is wild stuff, and then Monster Hunter Stories. So that's worked out for Capcom. They're on a roll right now. And I also had a release date written down for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Please, it's been forever.
They still have a 2023. So
sometimes I forget about that game, but it looks incredible. But the development on that game has been insane. It's been like since like the PS4, like that we've been talking about Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they've got something. Hopefully they've actually got a release date and solid, because like we've seen gameplay footage. The game looks great. So.
Mm-hmm. I have release date written down for Honkai Star Rail.
Yes, Honkai Star Rail. That is the people who made Genshin Impact. Yeah.
Yes, I know they're going to do a release date because I did download it on the PC. I haven't opened it yet, and that means they're going to say it's now on the PS5, because that's where I'd rather play it there for now. Although I don't know, Evan, did you play that on the PC yet?
No, wasn't really interested.
Okay. People are saying incredible things about this game.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's a turn-based thing, though.
I downloaded it for my own research, but I have not opened it yet because of Zelda.
I checked it out, and I would like it on PS5 if they can put it on PS5.
Well, I mean, it's announced for PS5 and PS4. We're just waiting for
like once they just get
any kind of release date for it. Yeah,
but it's doing some numbers. It's pretty popular.
That's what I've seen. People really like this game, so. We'll see. Pragmata was mentioned in the chat. I have no idea what that game is. I know it's from Capcom. I have no idea what it is though. It's the one with the astronaut and little girl, and I don't know. They all we've heard from them is that they had to delay it. Death Stranding 2, I think that's at Summer Game Fest, so I will leave that up to Jeff. So I don't think Sucker Punch is going to be there.
Oh,
I don't.
What do you think they're working on? Is it Ghost 2?
I think it's whatever's in the line. See, I don't think they're just going to call it Ghost Tsushima 2. I think it's going to be called Ghost of, and then they'll have a different region, and it'll be that.
Yeah, but just like the next, like a follow-up to go. Okay,
I think they'll stick with that formula, but build on top of it, similar to what we've been seeing with Horizon, where they go Zero Dawn to Forbidden West, and I think they'll just keep doing that kind of route. But they'll just obviously just be pushing completely for the PS5. They won't try to make a PS4 version of it.
Yeah.
So that and... Okay, so I've been trying to figure out what they would close. So I think the way they open the show, you get it started immediately with Metal Gear Solid. That way Sean is good. You don't have to worry about it throughout the whole show, right?
Yeah.
Big boss on screen, kept you waiting, all that stuff, you know? And then they just go right through. 2024 release date. Probably timed exclusivity, let's be real. There's been rumors on it on the PlayStation. And I kind of feel like you can close the thing out with Sony Santa Monica's new intellectual property, the new game. I think Ryan mentioned this on a predictions thing we did earlier, and I think that makes a lot of sense. To just their top talent. Here's their game concept,
new IP, right?
Yeah, that's the word. Is it's supposed to be a new intellectual property away from like God of War and stuff, and just PS5. Again, it's their top studio. They're like, this is what they're working on. It's gonna be a little while, but here it is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
just to close out. Because I thought maybe they'll just close out with Spider-Man 2 footage and gameplay, but that one more thing, you could just put up a minute-long thing that just gives an idea. Is it fantasy-based? Is it grounded more in reality? Like, what's the deal? And then we kind of go from there, and they have people speculate for the next 3 years, probably. Let's be real. So,
do you think it's going to be like a third-person over-the-shoulder game, or like a
probably Josie?
Probably. I would like to see Sony get that first person shooter online game, like that arena shooter or something, that they Killzone, sure, Resistance, sure, but they might just want to make a new one. And unfortunately, Deviation is where I thought it was going to come from, and that's not happening, it looks like. So Firewalk, I think Firewalk would do it. That's the other thing. They bought 2 studios recently that have not produced a game. They bought them without them making a game. So I want to see something from one of those 2, either Firewalk or Haven. I'm sorry, we need a game from Jade Raven. I gotta see. She went to.
Why? She doesn't need to make.
She went to Google.
She just hangs out, collects checks.
She's been collecting checks.
Wow. I gotta give her credit.
Checks and doing nothing for decades. No offense to her, but
it's amazing. It really is, because she went to Google. I assume got a good bit of money from them, opened Haven, right? Founded the studio, then sold it to Sony. Hasn't produced a game yet. It's amazing stuff. So they mentioned when they bought Haven that they were impressed with, I think, the logistics side with their cloud remote setup for just creating games. I kind of wonder if they're making, I don't want to say PlayStation Home, but kind of like a social experiment kind of game like that would play into maybe VR. It would play into the community side of the PlayStation ecosystem. That's all I can think of is that. But I would like to see Haven, but either one would be fine, just because I need to know what Sony looked at and went, we need to buy this studio now. Like, not tomorrow, we got to do it right now. So
it wasn't. Did they disclose how much it was purchased for?
I don't think so. Did they? I have to look. See if they had an exact number. I don't think they were. I don't think either one was overly expensive or anything. Yeah. Nothing like how they spent on Bungie. But still, I just want to know what they. I just want to know what they saw that made them go, "This is it. We need them."
Bungie still kind of shocking. You know,
they overpaid a bit for Bungie. They did, but it's for their live service stuff, not necessarily for Destiny. You know. So they want the people who have gone through the ringer with Destiny, figured it out, and then they can apply it to all their other stuff. Oh, right. They do need a PSVR 2 game at least.
They need something good for
with
it, man.
What were we saying, Josie?
I was gonna say they could do something with Astro, because that was kind of like, a lot of people really like that game.
Astrobot on the PS4 VR is really good. Astro's Playroom on the PS5 is really good as well, and it doesn't need VR. I don't know. Astro should be their big mascot next to, like the Kratos and all of this. Aloy, I guess. Astro could be a big mascot for them, because it appeals to all ages and everything. But if they tie it back to just PSVR 2, that's going to be kind of a shame. I mean, I think Team Asobi would do some really good work with it, because they're very good taking advantage of hardware. Still the best example of the DualSense. I want to see Astro get that big budget put behind it, make their own Mario Odyssey style game, something like that. I think it'd be cool. But Josie's right. That's the best thing they could put with PSVR 2 right now, just to help. Because I don't really hear a lot of people talk about PSVR 2 anymore.
You hear what Jim Ryan said?
Yeah, he said it's too early to tell.
People got salty because I said that's corporate speak for it flopped.
It doesn't sound like a lot of confidence, is what I'll say. So
because they're pretty happy touting all rightfully so with the PS5 numbers. Oh, here we go with PS5, and then they do this like if something's not doing well, they won't talk sales numbers. That's what Sony does. Like PS Vita, they didn't want to talk sales numbers. PS4, oh, they can't wait to talk sales numbers.
I think at least Half-Life Alyx has to be here. Hopefully they wrap that up with Valve and they can at least show it. Maybe have a release date for it. But
I don't know if that pushes it. Honestly, being like, hey, it's available on PC now, that's what pushes it.
That would help. That would actually help a lot if they can say, hey, you can get it on. But then they'd also have to start, I think, porting any of their games over to PC for.
Not necessarily. There's already tons of games over there that people kind of attach to, like Boneworks and all that they're really interested in.
Sure. But like Horizon Call of the Mountain and Gran Turismo 7, that has to go to PC.
But Horizon's a tech demo. Like,
yeah, but like, dude, Gran Turismo 7 is
that could be good.
Awesome use of VR. It is crazy how
it's the best.
To my understanding, though, there's a lot of simulation racing games on PC that already have that built-in VR experience. That would just, if it worked with the PSVR, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, the PSVR too. For its price, especially in you put that in the PC world, that's going to be a really good pickup for a lot of people.
It doesn't. I mean, like when you're buying a PS5, it's like, okay, I'm going to go spend PS5, and then I got to spend another on top of that VR. Now, if you already have a PC, like it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to check this out. But asking people to buy PS5 plus PSVR, it's $1,000, man. Like right there. Even if you get the digital, that's $1,000 plus the VR games, and it's not backwards compatible, right? Like with the PSVR 1 games, if I'm not.
You need like some of them they've created patches for, but basically, you need the company developer to put a patch out.
The library isn't quite that is a tall task for people to spend on that. I think people just be like, just give me the PS5 and I'll be good, you know?
Yeah, for PC owners looking at the price of the PSVR 2, it's not a big deal to them at all. So like my video card was $1,800, the $600 headset, nothing.
Exactly. So it's not a problem because you already have that. But asking new PS5 owners to buy PS5 plus PSVR 2, I think that's a little bit too much. Maybe.
I would like to see that though, then push PSVR 2 to PC if they can figure all that out. Jeff Grubb mentions that it is tough because of USB-C. You find some way to plug that into a GPU.
Well, newer cards. I think there's wires that do the USB-C to other versions, and it just apparently works. Like there's something about it.
Hopefully they can figure it out, because that PC market, I think, would really attach to that headset. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, we just went through a lot of, I guess, for VR, Resident Evil 4 VR mode. That it's good on the Quest, but that would be the remake Resident Evil 4 that would get thrown in there. I'm not expecting new hardware either. I wrote that down. Like no new controllers, headsets, the slim PS. I think that's all press release stuff if they do it. And yeah, an hour. Yeah, I think this will be a good show for them. I think it's going to be definitely one that everyone wants to pay attention to, because there's going to be a lot of stuff, and I think they set up the next 3 years with it. So
they should announce Little Big Planet 4. I'd go crazy.
Little Big Planet. Let's go.
Little Big Planet making the return. Hey, Media Molecule's free now. Here we go.
I'm waiting.
Little Big Planet was awesome back when it first came out. I really liked the original on the PS3.
Me too. I played that one, the second one, the third one, Sackboy's Adventure. Now give me another one.
Sackboy's Adventure is kind of dookie, but
yeah, but it's I take what I can get.
Yeah, you take what you can get. Yeah, I got you.
I guess for Evan, is there any PC port you'd like to see? Anything on the PS5 where you're like, this would be cool to have on PC from Sony?
Nah, I don't care.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Nah.
No, really? I think you'd like Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, eventually, yeah. But I'm still in that mindset right now for competitive games. It's the same reason I'm not playing Zelda right now. I want to play first person. I want to play multiplayer. I want to get competitive with things, or just play extremely difficult co-op. That's why I'm just not doing any of that right now. So
if they show live service games, though, Evan, that look enticing, and it's PC and PS5 day one,
maybe if they're worth it.
Okay.
But they got to be really worth
Factions
it.
Looks kind of like Division-like.
Maybe. The issue I have is still that a lot of the community on console are the kind of people who play those types of competitive games by turning off their microphones and not listening to anyone because they think that's the best experience, which is a great way to lose when no one's actually listening to you.
I'm just immediately destroying the console owners.
Oh my god, you remind me so much of one of my favorite streamers, Evan. Sentry.
I love watching Silent Sentry. I watch
You
him
guys
all
are
the
like the
time.
same person.
He's great.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He complains about the same thing that you just said right now.
Because he plays a lot of Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, Rainbow.
Yeah.
That's there you go. What they're gonna revive Mag Evan and put it on PC.
They can try, but like I know we talked about Hell Let Loose a long time ago, and Max was like, it's garbage. It's because he played it on console. I've been playing it on PC. Everyone in that game talks. It's incredible. It's so fun calling shit out, having mortar strikes come in from people actually firing them at the far end of the field. It's so cool.
Look at it. Jax mentions Persona 3 remake maybe.
Oh yeah, somebody brought that up on my stream on the Spawncast pre-show. That would be really cool. That leaked, right? Like that footage. It seemed like that footage was real too. Atlas got the lawyers involved.
Yeah, it's happening. There is a Persona 3 remake. Allegedly,
Yes.
I'll say allegedly in development. So
I am. If they show it off here, I am super down because that game could use a remake. It is old at this point.
They keep giving us the PSP version anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like from what that leak, what they showed, it looked really good, even in that crusty Twitter footage. So I am down for Persona 3 remake, 100%.
Yeah, I think that'd be. This is wow. We put together a ridiculous show, by the way.
That's a day one $70 buy for me. Persona 3 remake, because that game has like 200 hours, 300 hours of content. Like that game has a ton of stuff, man.
Oh, Derek reminded me. I did say in the video today that Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered would be kind of cool to see at it, just like one of the smaller ones. It's like, here it is. You follow up GTA 6 with it. You know, you got GTA 6 in there. You go right to Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered. There's
going to be indie games too. So we'll see if maybe there's what's that one game that came out with the oh gosh, I forgot the name. I bought it. Kenna. Is it maybe a Kenna sequel or something like that? Or something?
It's so hard to guess any of the indie games because half the time it's from a studio that's never made a game before or made a game that no one's really seen much of or paid attention to. So come out of nowhere for those. But I hope they just have a lot of stuff here, and it sounds like they're going to. So I think it's going to be a lot lot of fun.
Kena Bridge of Spirits did really well, so
I like that game.
They might do something with it.
I like that. It was a good game for what it was. I think that's everything I had on my list here. Sean, did you have anything? No. You're just all in for Metal Gear Solid, ready to have your hopes dashed completely.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait for like 20% of what you guys just said to be the only thing talked about.
Yeah, it's gonna be about bullshit.
I wonder if they swerve everybody with Metal Gear Solid 3. Like it looks like it's a completely different game, and then all of a sudden it's Metal Gear all out of nowhere. Like kind of like how they did with Bayonetta 3, where it looked like it was Astral Chain 2.
I want them to open big with one of the things you guys are talking about, and then do like an immediate indie cat game to make RGT just end his existence in that moment. Just like no.
Stray 2, right? Let's go. Stray 2. Yeah.
Now, because if it's Metal Gear Solid 3 remake and it looks incredible, all Sean's gonna do is just rewind back to it and watch more of that while the cat trailer's going on. You have to torture him with the cat trailers before, or maybe they open and it's just a cat walking around in a jungle, and then Snake pops out of the water with the crocodile hat on.
Just snaps the cat's neck and just walks away.
Listen, guys.
Simulator, you're gonna serve hot cocoa to different cats.
It's been 2 years, okay? So they've got to have a good show here because it's been 2 years.
Do they really though?
Waiting. They don't have
been a
to.
while.
I mean, Sony, like there hasn't even really been that great. Or what are the big first party games this year? There hasn't really been anything, and people are fine. People are still buying PS5s. So I mean, if they didn't have a great show, I don't think it'd matter. People are still going to buy PS5. But it would be nice since it's been 2 years to have a great show. Like I've been watching Marlon and some of the other Sony guys, and they're all thinking it. They're like, hey, we got to have a good show here. They're all pounding their desk about that. So
I think there's going to be a lot here. That's what else I think. Yeah, I feel like people are going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. People were happy with the showcasing. 2 years ago, people thought that was really good, and we got a fraction of those games now. At this point, people are like, "Oh, that was a great showcase." So
I think Sony's completely moved on from the PS4 now. So I don't think you're going to see that logo pop up much anymore. And I think
they didn't mention PS4. They said it's going to be PS5, PSVR, indie games, third party. So they didn't even mention PS4.
It'll be there though.
I mean, a third party might do it, but
yeah, third party. I don't think there's going to be. I mean, just like if they have Street Fighter there, that's on PS4.
There you go. Yep, that will be on the PS4 then. So that's our showcase. Exciting stuff. We'll be talking all about it next weekend after it's aired, and we'll go through it game by game. And hopefully, there's a lot to talk about there. Let me take a look at some of the super chats here. This is from Khalil, who says, "I see why this game is called Tears of the Kingdom. It's always raining. Can't go 1 mile without it raining." It
You must not play Breath of the Wild because it rained a fuck of a lot more in Breath of the Wild.
It rained a lot more in Breath of the Wild. Sean's right. It actually hasn't rained that much for me. And
I don't even think I've seen it rain once.
There's just one rain cloud and he just keeps going under. It's like, what's happening?
And at least you have like the slip resistance in this game. At least you can brew those
Limited slip differential.
There's also a suit you can get that gets rid of it completely.
Exactly.
Wow, spoilers.
I just throwing it out there, people. Just keeping the mystery out there, though. I didn't say where it was or what it was or anything.
Spoiler alert.
But now they know it's there and they're gonna want to look for it.
I'm just
you
helping people
failed them,
out.
John.
I'm helping people out. Epic says, "Hey everyone, I'm a video editor for a big sports company, but I want to edit for content creators. How do I get started? Is there a website? I appreciate it. If you don't know, it's all good."
I do video editing for other channels, and really it's just random, dude. Like if they know you, or it's like DMs, stuff like that. That's how I got in. They saw my channel or on the Spawncast. They're like, "Hey, do you do video editing?" I'm like, "Yep." And then they're like, "Sure, can you help me do this?" I know Jordan used to do video editing for other people too. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I edited for a lot of people, but it really became a game of, until you have some sort of first break with someone, then at that point you either make friends with people and eventually help work for them, or you get passed around between a conversation of getting like let's say one creator talks to another and saying, "Oh, my guy is actually really good, looking for more work. You might want to work with them," and you get the recommendation. You move on to working with other people, and that's how a lot of it really goes. There's definitely a lot of creators who like constantly tweet out looking for a video editor who can do this, this, and this. So if you search up like on Twitter, like the term like video editor or someone, content creator looking for it, I know a lot of that happens there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from Keith, who says, "Who's using the duplication glitch and who's done the event in the Hyrule Depths? Just finished it and I wasn't prepared for everything that took place. I'm still exploring the depths now, but..."
I'm not using the duplication glitch because that just makes the game easy.
Yeah, I'm not using it either, actually. I don't really have a need to.
Okay. I think a lot of people are doing it mostly to raise rupees and money.
Yeah,
what I can tell.
Collect money and rupees normally.
Yeah, there are some things you can do. I saw Austin John had one that like 12 minutes and you up with like a couple thousand rupees from it just from farming stuff.
Breaks the game, makes it not fun. Well, no, for some people that is their fun, so never mind.
This one is from, hold on, it's a very long time. Okay. This one's from Phil Spencer sells PS5s better than Jim Ryan. Says, "Thoughts on Pokemon Home delay? I have no idea what happened with that. That was really weird."
I don't follow Pokemon Home, and I don't know what it is. I'm still waiting on my patch. So
they announced Pokemon Home was coming to Scarlet and Violet. I think they said it was going to happen on the 24th, and then less than 24 hours later, they came out and said, "Okay, that's not a thing. We're sorry." I don't know. I have no idea what happened. Someone miscommunicated somewhere in the company, and now they're like, "It'll happen soon." So they pulled the date.
Pokemon Home, that's when you can bring over all your
you transfer Pokemon.
Transfer Pokemon
to different games. Certain games, not all of them, but certain ones, yeah.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of Pokemon that are like trapped and stuff on my old games. I need to use it, but I just don't play competitive Pokemon as much or really at all anymore. Like,
I wish I could tell you what happened. I have no idea. That was it's just very strange looking from the outside. So maybe somebody on the social media team got excited. I don't know.
Austin John, I think he made a video on that or something like that. So
everyone, even he was like, I don't know. It's weird. So it didn't go over well online. The announcement that it was getting.
What an incompetent company.
I wish I could tell you what happened.
Gave that away.
Very weird. It's very weird. Red Giant says, "Anyone playing Street Fighter 6 beta?" I am not. I am waiting for Street Fighter 6 to come out and then I will play it. But apparently the beta is going over really well. I saw on our Discord that people were talking about it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I just want to wait for that training room.
Good.
I don't want to just jump right into it like that.
Yeah, the rollback netcode on there is very good.
Oh, good. So this is they're just having you just go in and just play against people.
Yeah, they
Outright,
throw you into
straight
a
up.
hub, you sit down at one of the things. You can either spectate it, which is always fun because it starts it at the round that it was last on when you started spectating, and then fast forwards to the point where it is. It's weird looking.
Oh, so you just see people go really, really fast?
Yeah, just crazy, and
that's
then
kinda cool.
it just stops right when it's there, and then you just watch the rest of the fight. It's great.
Phil Spencer sells PS5s better than Jim Ryan. Says, RGT, how was Parasite Eve not at least top 20?
It wasn't even on the list.
Parasite Eve is absolutely not an RGT game.
Yeah, it is.
I can.
No, it is.
Is it? Do you like that game?
He's talked about it a lot.
Yeah, he actually
Parasite
likes it a
Eve?
lot.
Fuck yeah, I love
I didn't know you
Parasite
like Parasite Eve. I
Yeah.
didn't know you talk. What the hell?
Eve.
I thought it wasn't your style of game.
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay.
That list was kind of, I thought about going over it here one time, but then I saw like people were doing like streams and stuff, and they ended up going for 4 hours because they would just get to one and then just argue on it. And I feel like we would just argue on these things and just be like, how did this happen? How is this?
I
game
went
even-"
for 2 by myself.
That's what I mean. I saw you doing it too, and I'm like, he's only on number 53, and he's been live for an hour and 10 minutes. So
But the top 100 games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
looked at that
GQ.
list too, and I was just like, I don't
There's
know.
a
what I'm
way.
thinking
That's a
right now.
waste. Like trying to argue every down like top games. Like it's always.
You know what number 50 was?
Oh,
I didn't even look at the list.
Splunky. Splunky. Higher than Super Mario Odyssey. Splunky.
Oh wow,
Dude,
interesting.
Higher than-
Splunky's pretty good. No,
Higher than Super Mario Brothers 1.
the original
Wow.
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah. It's
was
higher than
number one?
Odyssey.
I think Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, which
Breath of what?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Weird.
This was fucking dumb.
That seems like some recency on
The
those
Last of
votes.
Us was.
Well, when you
number
look
two.
at the fucking panel of people, it's like I think Jeff Grubb was on the panel. Like Jeff and Gene were like the two people.
Jeffy's
that
calling you
like,
out.
I was like,
Let me
okay,
see
these
this.
are decent people. There was just a bunch of fucks
Top
that I don't like on that
100.
list. There was a ton of people from fucking like Naughty Dog on there, and there's like Naughty Dog games all over the place. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Like, what the hell? Like,
Wait, who did this list again?
it was
GQ.
GQ asked like over 200 people from like the industry and streamers and shitheads and like I don't know.
Is that a publication?
GQ. It's a magazine,
GQ?
right?
Yeah, it's a
No.
magazine.
No, never mind.
John's jokes. Here we go.
I know. I did look at that list, and I was a little surprised at some of the even the
Yeah,
top,
Dishonored
even
2
the
was
top
on the
10.
list, and then you look, and then like there's a bunch of Arcane employees on the list. It's like, what the? Who would put Dishonored 2 on a top
I mean,
100?
I'm looking through the list, and it just seems like it's the order of the list that's maybe a problem. I mean, there's some good games. I mean, there's Okami, there's Fable, there's Mass Effect, there's Grand Theft Auto, Super Mario Kart. It's like the order is Last Guardian. Super Mario Odyssey is number 87. Is that where you have an issue? Is that's that far down the list?
Yeah, I mean the problem was there was no consistency with the list. It's like, are we judging it based on when the game came out? Are we judging it based on the game's impact? Like it just goes all over the place. It was.
It seems like it's a mix. You know,
Top 5 games they have: Witcher 3 number 5, Bloodborne number 4, Tetris number 3, Last of Us number 2, and then Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild number 1.
And Pac-Man's nowhere on the list. So how are you gonna put Tetris on the list but not put Pac-Man? There's no
Pac-Man on
arcade
there?
games. There's no fighting games. There's one racing game with Super Mario Kart, the original one. So no Gran Turismo, no Tekkens, no Street Fighter 2 is on there. The
racing
original
games don't
Street
need to
Fighter
be
2.
on there, but-
It's fucking
Oh, Jeff said only
I'm
one of
upset.
his top 10 is in the top 10.
Pac-Man. How is Pac-Man a terrible game? If
How is
by
Pac-Man not on there?
by that metric, then Tetris is a terrible game because they're
Whoa,
they're
whoa,
both.
whoa.
Okay, but
You
I
could
do
argue
agree.
that Tetris is the greatest game ever made. You could argue that.
Mass Effect 2 is number 6. I like that because Mass Effect 2 was like one of the best things ever.
Pac-Man was ridiculous in the arcades. That's all everyone
No
wanted to
Donkey
play.
Kong. Like
Yeah. Pac-Man was like, I know people are young, but like
That was the arcade game.
the euphoria around Pac-Man is something that I don't know if I've even seen in today's day. Like it was like that big at the time. It was
list is fucking
nuts.
trash. These are the people peddling video game stuff to you. These are the
It's not
companies.
a trash. It's got Metal Gear Solid is number 7 on this list. It's not completely terrible.
I don't think it should be that high.
What? Why can't Metal Gear Solid? What?
Because three is objectively a much better game than the first Metal Gear Solid. Have you played the original Metal Gear Solid lately? It's not exactly the easiest game to pick up and play.
No, you're right about that, but it's still like they have Portal, they have Dark Souls. It's just the order. Resident Evil 4 is on the list, which that game obviously is really good. They have
Disco Elysium. Other Resident Evils.
Yeah, Disco Elysium. People like that game. That might be a bit too high. They have Ocarina of Time at number 13, Super Mario World at number 14, Red Dead Redemption 2 at number 15.
No.
Skyrim at number 16. I mean, there's Final Fantasy 7. There's some good games. It's just the order that's the problem. Super Mario 64.
You could say the impact of Metal Gear Solid that would put it in that spot, though, Sean, because that really kicked off the idea of weaving this intricate narrative into these newer 3D titles.
Yeah, they got Street Fighter 2 on here at number 27. So that's it. I guess you said that's the only fighting game.
Yeah, it's the only fighting game.
Yeah.
The only racing game is Super Mario Kart at like number 80.
They got your Snake Eater on here though. It's number 33.
Oh my gosh, Super Mario Bros is number 96.
I told you the list is fucking.
Oh, that's just
really.
I can't look at that.
I legit don't think. I just think the order is the problem. But the games are really good. I mean, they've got Galaxy. They've got all these dope games. Splunky's not, but Chrono Trigger's too low. Chrono Trigger's too low. It's number 42, but they've got a bunch of dope games on here.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 isn't on that list, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
what?
Yes, no Sonic 2. That's unfortunate. But there's still like Halo 3 is on this list.
We can take Splunky.
Okay, why the hell is Destiny on this list? The original Destiny. Number 46. And they've got Destiny over God of War 2018. That's funny.
Super Mario at number 96. Everyone should be ashamed. Not Jeff Grubb though. That I know that was that was in his top 10. I already know it.
It's just the order. I think that's the problem. It's got Ico, it's got Hollow Knight, it's got Inside, Final Fantasy 9. They got multiple Final Fantasy games. So I mean,
this list doesn't exist without Super Mario.
Ooh, Super Metroid number 60. Okay.
Is Buck Bumble on there?
It needs to be
fucking garbage, and people
needs
should get James for
Persona.
That list.
They messed up the release date though. Well, no, it came out in Japan in 2016.
We should talk about this list in your after show, Sean.
I've already talked about it. I don't want to talk about it again.
Z-Bat says, great video today with Ryan. Do you think we can get a Parappa the Rapper remaster remake? Also, congrats on 690K. Oh, yeah. Parappa the... that seems like old Sony.
Nope.
I 100% feel that if that did happen, it just wouldn't sell.
That seems like old Sony.
It would be a live service game. It'd be like you can buy songs
on cell phones, not even on console. Yeah, they just skip console.
The PlayStation phone, maybe they lost their opportunity to do it.
I mean, I would buy it and play it, but that's 90s Sony right there. You're asking for.
Parappa was dope though. It was fun.
Phil Spencer sells PS5s better than Jim Ryan. Says PlayStation Showcase will destroy Xbox presentation. Austin says, did anyone on the cast buy Lego 2K Drive?
No.
I didn't buy it. The Switch version didn't.
Yeah, John, you better have, because you're fucking hyping that shit up. Give me on you to play the Lego racing games. No, I didn't, John.
I did. I bought it. It even came with a little Lego car.
Well, tell me about it. Why don't you? Where's the video on it? Where's the I mean, come on, tell me about this game. Sell me on it. How great it is.
Well, we played the opening bit because it just drops you into the sandbox driving around. And so it's like basically it's a cross between like tiny cars driving around. Like, so you have a big hose that's shooting water and you drive around on that. And then you also have shops and stuff. So it goes between normal size world to small world. And every time you go between water, land, or street, your car transforms kind of like Spy Hunter on the PS2. So you go between boat to an ATV to a car on the fly, and it all transforms as you drive around.
Like Sonic too, like the Sonic transformed racing. Is it kind of like that too?
Kind of, yeah.
To my memory, with the trailer, you actually get to custom build those transformations.
You do. So we were me and my kids were playing it, and it has same screen co-op, so you can just drive around together in the world. And we got to the garage and started building a car before we had to put it away. So it's pretty cool. The visuals are kind of interesting because it's this weird blend of where everything's made out of Legos, but there's also really very realistic looking settings. So it's kind of strange, but it looks good on the Xbox Series. So that's what we're playing it on. Nice. Fun game. Fun game.
I'll buy it when it's $10 in a couple weeks.
I don't think I'd buy it when it's $70. I only bought it because I think kids would get a kick out of it, but otherwise, $20 maybe. It needs more content. It does come with the pass that then gives you the rest of the stuff that they're gonna, I guess, build for the next year. But I'd wait. I'd wait for it to come down in price. But if you like the old Lego racing games, PS1 and 64, you probably like it. Let's see. Vita says, considering how big a file size Redfall was and Starfield's supposed to have 1,000 planets, what's everyone's predictions for its file size? Probably north of 100 gigabytes, I'd say.
115.
Big boy.
Yep, probably north of 100. Jedi Survivor was 150 almost now with the patches.
That's not fair. There's something illegal about that game. I know there's a lot of stuff in the game, graphics, all that, blah blah. But come on, man. Like,
it's a big game. There's a lot going on in that game.
That's too many. That file size is too much.
Zoop says Palpatine voice, yes, torment the Korok. All right, people need to stop messing up with these Koroks already.
I crucified one.
I saw it.
You didn't put any good audio behind it though. Like, you just kind of did it.
It's very convenient, honestly. It's a good way to travel with them.
Cristobal says my PS5 showcase bingo card is full with Spider-Man 2 in the middle, along with Little Devil Inside. Anything? Oh no, Devil Inside me, and then Little Devil Inside. Anything Metal Gear, Resident Evil, and Wolverine. Nice Mystic video. Thank you, Cristobal. Yo Peep says prediction: Spider-Man 2 co-op, but then live service. I don't think it's gonna be live service, but co-op maybe.
Maybe co-op deserve to be tortured.
Oh man,
they're fucking annoying.
They're just trying to find their friend.
Well, fucking find another friend. Like,
he can't move. His legs can't touch the ground.
Well, how did he get there?
I don't
Probably
know. That's a good
rolled down
question.
a hill.
Yeah. Creation. You think Nintendo put that? You think the developers put them there, and they're like, everyone's gonna be nice to these guys. And the first thing they see on Twitter is people just wheeling them out on crosses.
I think they knew that people were
That's what they deserve.
I think they knew exactly what people were going to do that.
The creation,
the rockets and stuff.
Station says for Tears of the Kingdom DLC, I could see them adding more trials and items to tinker with, but aside from performance tips, personally, I'd love to see a 4 swords mode.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but just do battle royale, just 100 different things.
They're not going to make a 4
Switch would explode. Open your hands.
They're not going to make a 4 swords mode. It's a
totally
3D Zelda game, not an up 2D up over the top Zelda.
Totally random hypothetical. If someone makes daily videos and all but about one per week is non-Nintendo based, does that make him or her a Nintendo YouTuber? Again, totally random hypothetical.
I don't think so.
Okay, thanks, Sean. The Peep says prediction: Diablo 4 will have a crazy microtransaction update after reviews are out. I would not fight you on that one.
Probably.
Davey says, would you all be interested in a 2D turn-based Zelda game to fill gap between mainline games?
No.
Why not? Why not?
2D turn-based? Like, like separate game? Yeah, I'd be down for
I say get weird with the franchise. Do whatever you want as long as you still have these big 3D games every half decade. Yeah,
as long as it doesn't interfere with the 3D games or even like the remakes.
Diminishing the brand a bit there.
Hey, we all played Age of Calamity 18 frames.
I don't know. I'm down for a 2D, but turn-based seems kind of wild for Zelda.
Isn't that what Retro apparently pitched at one point?
I don't think it was
why they didn't develop it.
It was like a strategy game, right? Strategy RPG.
Oh yeah. They did. There was one, but they also pitched like an actual like Zelda, like a game with Sheik, like an action game too.
Cake Camp has it. Remake Zelda 2 with quality of life improvements.
I wouldn't mind that.
That's the perfect game to be remade, but don't get rid of the prostitutes. Don't do it, Nintendo.
How would you even remake that game? Like, would it be a full 2D, like full art style remake? Like,
I would do it similar to Link's Awakening. I would keep it the same though. Like, still have the top down and still have the side scroll.
Okay,
I'd pick that up. That'd be cool.
My gameplay is kind of crusty at this point.
Alter that a bit.
That's why you have the quality of life improvement.
Yeah, well, they have to change the gameplay because it's just like you hit here, then you go like this. That's all you do in that game. You just hit top, hit below, hit, and then you just alternate, juggle back and forth. So they have to change it up a bit.
It'd be quite the remake, yes.
Yeah, it'd have to be a little bit more than that.
T-Joe says, so did our friendly neighborhood Nintendo YouTuber earn his nick? How? I think that's you, Sean. How did you earn your nickname?
Are you talking about Nintendo? You must be talking about OJ or Jose over there. You ain't talking about me.
How did our friendly neighborhood Nintendo
Because first and foremost, I'm not friendly. So that's how we know that it's not about me.
Oh, okay. It's Retro Gaming Tube. He just talks about retro games.
Tomorrow, retro gaming video.
Okay.
RGT. It's what's that one meme where the guy's looking at the button and he's sweating RGT Nintendo video or like something? And he's just sweating like, no, I don't make Nintendo video.
I don't.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, though, right, chat? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Thing on.
Grinning Wolf says, shout out to RGT85 for collaborating in our Play Your Way video in aid of mental well-being through gaming. You, sir, are a true legend. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Tijo says, think Star Rail will be at the showcase. I wouldn't be shocked if it was. Very popular. There's a PS5 and PS4 version in the works, so why not? Why not drop the release date there? Victor says, hopefully we get Silent Hill 2 remake gameplay and PT-esque Silent Hill the short message demo on the PlayStation Store, and maybe get a GTA 6 teaser on the PlayStation Showcase.
Didn't the short message trademark or something get pulled down?
Did it? I was hoping we'd get a demo or just something. I like getting these demos and showcases, and that would be a cool one, but that'd be a shame if it got pulled. But
let me see. I'm pretty sure the Silent Hill short message was removed from the Taiwan database.
Oh, maybe they thought differently on it then. Also, GTA 6, I would not expect GTA 6 at the showcase. That Rockstar's going to make an entire event out of that, and whenever they decide to do it, everyone's going to pay attention anyway. So that is going to be a ridiculous
It's going to be like a concert. It's going to be like a...
The internet might actually melt down that day. It's going to be crazy. So how many copies of 5 that sold? Pfft.
Yeah, Twitch is going to be blown up. YouTube's going to be blown up. Twitter's going to be like when Steve launched. It's going to be maybe even worse. It's going to break. It's going to be nuts.
I'm curious what kind of trending number that says for GTA 6 when it gets announced. It's gonna be crazy.
What was that one? What was that? How many tweets or how much? Remember that when everything leaked and they talked about it?
Dude,
that got
it was like
crazy.
It was these terrible looking like in development leaks that people were like, "This is what it looks like." No, that's not what it looks like. But
like when they talked about it, just saying like, "Hey guys, we're working on the game." Like that tweet got so much positive like vibe from a company that does a lot of interesting things. So yeah.
JC says, do we see Persona 3 remake or Persona 6 here? What about the next Destiny expansion or anything from Bungie now that Sony owns them? I can see something with Destiny expansion, but
no Persona. I don't think Persona 6 is going to be there. Yeah.
I think Persona 6, I think they'll announce it when they want on their terms.
It's going to be at 2 a.m. at a concert that you have to buy a ticket to, specially owned. Like you need to go through like only PayPal. Like it's going to be something crazy that they announced that.
Nintendo says it seems like 75% of the hype for PS5's lineup is remakes and 20% is sequels to games we already played last gen. The only new IP are live service too. 75% of the hype for.
I mean, you're basing that on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we
don't know what's happening.
I think they're going to show off some new IPs at this showcase as well. Yeah. So
I think maybe he's talking about like from 2020 to this point now.
Oh yeah.
What he's talking about. I think he's talking
in that case. There it was. I mean, we did get Returnal. That was new IP there, but I get what you're saying for a lot of sequels we've had. The sequels we've had, and obviously Horizon, God of War, Gran Turismo, but I think we're gonna see new IPs at this show. So I would hold out a little bit and see what we get here. Juan says, "Hello, my favorite tubers, and hi, Nintendo YouTuber." Shout out to Sean.
You're talking to me?
Miguel, no message. Papa says, Legends of Dragoon remake. What a world that would be.
Sony's like, you want us to make money or not?
Steven says, RGT Nintendo enthusiast equals Nintendo YouTuber.
Yeah, that was a different time though. That was when I was on a different channel.
This is Table Sliders and Sean.
Oh. I think this is like the Streisand effect here. The fact that you're saying "don't call me it" now, people are just going to just start like calling you it all.
Well, I'll keep fighting it. Might do some legal
for your
stuff,
life, bro.
Litigation coming their way. You never know.
Coming their way. What? Hold on.
Slander.
Fighting for your life, bro. You're killing me.
Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 1. It is announced.
That's fucking stupid.
That was a great CG trailer. It was awesome.
They missed the opportunity. They went with Mortal Kombat 1. They should have gone with Mortal Kombat 720. but here we are, September 19th. It's coming out, and it is coming out for the Xbox Series, PS5, PC through Steam and Epic Game Store, and Nintendo Switch. So they continue their run of portable Mortal Kombat games.
Pre-orders are already up on Steam right now. So
I think the name was okay. Like Mortal Kombat 1. It's a rebirth of the series. They're starting over.
It's a rebirth of the series, sir.
Yeah, because we did have that on the 360 PS3 one, Mortal Kombat 9.
Liu Kang, he's created his world.
Yeah, he's created his own world, technically. Yeah.
Cross experiment world, so that's good.
Yes.
It's good.
So if you do Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, there are two endings. They're going with Liu Kang's ending, basically. And
have you seen the rumored characters? Or
yes, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to talk about it here, because that does seem like people, I don't know if they're going to show them all at once. They might, but
if they did, though, that would be kind of breaking the internet a little bit. Like
the characters are pretty good. Like there's obviously one that I'm like, all right, that is
just say it. Can we just say it?
Yeah, you can just say it. That's fine. Just say the one.
Homelander and Omni-Man? What?
Yeah, those are good. If that ends up being correct, which it's from an Amazon listing, so I assume it is. That's gonna be awesome. So
yeah,
that's getting revealed before release because that'll help to sell it. But Mortal Kombat 1,
Omni-Man, yo.
Wait, like from Invincible?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually super cool.
Right?
Have you seen The Boys, Josie?
No, but I'm big on Invincible.
Oh, you gotta watch The Boys.
The Boys is really good too, especially if you like Invincible. You like The Boys.
Yeah, you gotta watch The Boys.
With how this whole build up to the announcement of Mortal Kombat happened.
You mean just from them teasing over and over again with the clock counting backwards?
Not just that, just what's his face? His cryptic tweets over the last 2 months of maybe it's this week, just kidding, don't know what you're talking about. Hey, maybe it's this week, just kidding, don't know what you're talking about. For some reason, every time those tweets kept popping on my time, I just don't care about your game anymore. I don't care. Announce it or don't. Just stop teasing it.
Whenever he put his phone down, he's like, "I'm a genius," and he just puts his phone down. You're an idiot. Stop it.
It just became so annoying. It was like anti-marketing. I was like, all this hype for the CGI trailer that turned out to be a reboot with the stupid title scheme of 1. I can't believe we're back to the whole 1 thing again here. Was
the title
Battlefield 1? Was this the Xbox 1? How many ones do we need to go back for?
The title did leak out.
Numerical 1, not spelled out 1. So
well, I know, but I'm yeah, Battlefield 1, is a 1 as well. And I don't know. I think it was just a large build up for, I don't know. We all knew it was coming. What's the surprise?
Yeah, I don't really know what they thought. I guess people were thinking maybe they'll do Injustice or something else other than Mortal Kombat, because they basically killed all the characters. So
I will say this: I'm not going to defend Ed Boon's tweets because I see what Jordan is saying. Especially
Ed Boon's he's known to be to troll people. So.
But people are the Mortal Kombat fan base, which is a whole subset of people, are insane. They bother him. They tweet at him. It's crazy. The Mortal Kombat fan base can be kind of nuts too. So, but I mean, I get it. His tweets are annoying, and I do just ignore his tweets all the time.
Yeah, a lot of them seemed confused on the Mortal Kombat. A lot of people didn't think that was correct when everyone was. I have no idea how they wouldn't know that, because even I heard about them doing a reboot for Mortal Kombat and calling it 1, which sounded stupid at first. So that doesn't sound right. And then here it is.
And they couldn't make it more obvious with the
I'm actually interested.
That just skips 12 and goes right to 1.
Goes right to
start
1,
over.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I like Mortal Kombat though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Mortal Kombat. I'm just very annoyed at this announcement strategy. It's just announce it when it's ready or not. Don't spend months just putting out a cryptic tweet if you can't announce it yet.
It's interesting because it's coming out September 19th, so they announce it and then it's out in 4 months. So it's it's one of those quick announcement to releases. Mm-hmm. But it was a CGI trailer, as Jordan mentioned. It's all CGI.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
It did close out with the course fatality kind of stuff, brutality with the
but those are CGI fatalities. We don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit till we see gameplay.
That's actually my favorite part, because the Steam pre-order page is just the CGI trailer, a bunch of CGI trailer screen caps, $70. It's
I thought we were really getting to a day and age because of how good just video games look outside of cutscenes or CGI trailers, that we don't have to rely on CGI trailers to market. But I guess I'm wrong. Because this,
that day will never come.
Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, It's like, and maybe not the best example, but like all the marketing for that is barely a couple cutscenes, but the rest of it is just like, hey, look at the game. Look at what you can do. You can go there, you can do this. Mortal Kombat's like, hey guys, brand new Mortal Kombat, it's exciting. Here's CGI. The game's coming out in 4 months, pre-order it. Also, there's a collector's edition. Give us more money. Bye.
Okay, are you talking about, because, Breath of the Wild's first trailer was just like, just like a CG, right? Or just like, I guess it was in-game assets, but.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not, may not be the older best example. I'm just saying in a day and age, modern consoles, modern graphical capabilities, why are we still relying on selling stuff with the CGI trailer and not the game itself?
Gotcha.
Here's what I want to know. They say that they're changing up everything. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, they described some of the gameplay technically, or like new concept with the cameo characters.
It sounds like you have assists now.
Sounds like you have assists, so it's gonna be like
right. Well, I understand. I'm talking about the gameplay. They said it's probably
not
new gameplay.
They said brand new so how Mortal Kombat plays, right? Like it's like input directions, like you do forward or down left, right, whatever.
And then it becomes the rhythm game that if you can get the rhythm, you can string long combos.
So that is probably going to be overhauled now that you have an assist system. So I mean, I don't know if they're going to do like half quarter circles and stuff like that. Probably not, but they're probably going to do inputs differently and combine that with the mechanics of actually how Mortal Kombat works. Because Mortal Kombat has played very similar for a while now. It's from Mortal Kombat 9 on the Xbox 360. It's pretty much the same. So they're probably overhauling that. I don't know. Maybe they'll actually have smooth animations now, because it's always kind of looked like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's always kind of like robotic, and that's deliberate. So maybe they actually change it up to where it's more fluid, like a Tekken or like a Street Fighter, or games like, or Soul Calibur, where it's more like that too. So that could be like the change in the mechanics. Plus, they got a brand new. Apparently, like the single player campaign is going to be expansive.
Involved, apparently.
Those are the best out of fighting games. That's the best single player campaign, is like Mortal Kombat, like out of the traditional fighting games. So
I like Mortal Kombat 9. I actually like that story. That was fun to go through, because they relived 1, 2, and 3, and then they had Cyber Sub-Zero at the end, and that was kind of cool. So that I would like to see a remaster of that game, by the way. That was kind of teased at one point. That'd be fun, but we spent a lot of time playing that way back in the day. Me, Evan, and a couple of people. That was a good time. It was a good time.
On the projection screen TV.
Those were the good days.
Messing kids up 2v2.
It is going to be. They also shared apparently sales numbers for Mortal Kombat. It's like, apparently, according to Tweaktown, it's now the best fighting game ever made or something in terms of sales at 80 million. So I don't really
franchise, like all the games combined.
Yeah, because franchise. Yep. So they have that. I guess they wanted to let everyone know, but
I mean, it's been around longer than almost all the franchises.
Basically everything, yeah. It's been around forever, it feels like.
I think Street Fighter has it in
Fighter was before it.
Yeah, but Street Fighter hasn't sold as well, I don't think.
No, Street Fighter's like half of that almost. Maybe a little
Street
more
Fighter, it's like all the copies sold are like Street Fighter 2 as well. So it's like different versions of Street Fighter 2. I'm joking, chat. Don't. I know Street Fighter 4 did well.
Yeah, I'm curious. That's the biggest thing, though. Jordan, you mentioned CGI trailers. Sean, you mentioned them overhauling the gameplay. I'm curious about what's it look like when you play.
I think that's going to be the PlayStation thing, don't you?
I kind of wondered if that'd be Summer Game Fest even, because that's the tough part. These third-party games. Is it Summer Game Fest? Is it? Yeah, you could. They did mention on live stream, because they did a stream afterwards, that they were going to just have reveals up until release. So I guess one of them's going to be gameplay randomly live stream. Here it is.
Mortal Kombat is so dope to watch at high level. It is like one of the most fun games. I know some people clown it for like competitive, but it's really good to watch at high level play. I always enjoy it.
You're on board, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm still excited for a new Mortal Kombat. I like when a new Mortal Kombat comes out. You know, I mean, like you even gave me the Scorpion head.
Yeah. You're buying that collector's edition here with Liu Kang, has like the two like fire.
I would if the statue was like in full color. You know, the statue was it was like all one color except for like it had like one spot of red on it or whatever, something like that. I was like, I don't know, that's not as exciting. But no,
I already have Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh yeah,
that's just Mortal Kombat.
I don't see the one on there. It's just Mortal Kombat.
No, it's 1, because the next one was 2.
I don't see 1 though. I just see Mortal Kombat.
Well, because you're fucking blind.
I don't see 1 though. It's just Mortal Kombat.
I have 20/20 vision, and I do not see 1.
Sean's just flexing. See, I had the Genesis version. I had the Super Nintendo version.
Poverty.
I told you they were just sweat a lot. Like you punch them and gray stuff came out of them.
Fucking horrible. Imagine playing that.
The fatality, they would just uppercut. They wouldn't even like.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
So
that was
lame.
the worst. That was the worst.
Fucking Howard Lincoln's bitch ass.
Man,
sounds like a president's name.
The other interesting thing about Mortal Kombat 1, it is on the Switch. It's $70 on the Switch though. That kind of surprised some people because it's doors open.
It didn't surprise me just because Mortal Kombat 11 did so well, like money wise. There was, I mean, if you could, and they've got a separate development team for it. They've got, was it Shiver and Saber, yeah.
And I believe they did Mortal Kombat 11 as well on the Switch.
They did, and it did really well sales wise. So if they can do it, and they're still using that same NetherRealm, that Unreal Engine 3 modified to the whatever. So it's still, I think it's still the same engine, if I'm not correct. So
there's Mortal Kombat 1 and then Mortal Kombat 11, both on the Switch. So the two Mortal Kombats that'll be on the Switch.
A bunch of ones, yep.
But I'm supposed to put 1 after 11 technically if I have my alphabetical order and it's in order of the series.
Yes.
You know, I just don't like that. My OCD, I don't like that.
Where's the fucking why do they not milk Mortal Kombat? Like classic Mortal Kombat.
I don't know.
There are so many of them.
It is really weird, right?
So many of them. And you got to remember, some of these have like the kart racing, the conquest mode, the puzzle modes. Then you have the fucking the old school ones with the digitized graphics, and then of course you move on from that. Like there could be like 2 separate combat collections. And people would be all over that shit. You do like 1 through, you do the arcade collection, 1, 2, Ultimate 3, and 4. There's your arcade collection. Then you do like another collection from like the PS2 era of stuff.
Oh, Deadly Alliance, Armageddon,
Shaolin Monks.
Oh, I'd buy that.
Like fucking,
that's
it's right there. It's right fucking there.
No, you gotta get the new one though.
Put it in the carbon engine.
That would be that.
No, I want it to play good. I don't want no carbon engine bullshit.
The carbon engine, baby.
It makes no sense. It makes no. Every other company milks the fuck out of it. Look at Capcom. They fucking milk that shit like a cow. And then you got Ed Boon over there. No, we're not gonna do anything under classics. No. Like what was the last time they did Xbox 360 when they had the arcade things on there where you could play them on Xbox Live Arcade.
So the weird thing about this is there's something's tying up Mortal Kombat 9, and people are trying to figure out what it is exactly because Ed Boon mentioned that it's harder than you'd expect to get this game like done, to get it brought back. If you have the disc for the Xbox 360 and you put it in the Xbox Series, it works. It downloads it, but you can't buy it on the store. They can't sell it.
Okay, that's fine. Don't include it on the thing. There's the other fucking 30 games that you have the full rights to.
Yeah. I would definitely pick up a compilation of that PS2 generation. That was awesome back then.
And just no, I mean, I would buy both of it. Like do the Mega Man thing where they have like the different Mega Mans, and then you have the different compilations for the different Mega Mans, and you do those with Mortal Kombat. Throw in some behind the scenes stuff, the fucking documentary that's available on YouTube, anyways, where it shows you making like Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 and 3 and shit like that.
Wait, which Mortal Kombat 1?
The fucking classic.
The OG.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not sure anymore. You know, I don't know what's what.
They have they have even footage because it's been put on Twitter of the old, like the mocap they did with the original actors back then too, that they could put in there.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. Like they were getting punched onto like mats and stuff. It looked really
with the green screen.
They had like him doing the flying kick, and there was like a stool under him. It looked really amateur, but
it worked though.
It worked. That would be an awesome collection. I would buy that immediately. But
I would buy a fucking collector's edition of that shit.
I am curious. It's $70 on the Switch. Mortal Kombat 11 made you download a good bit of the game. Is it all in the cartridge? Is this a 32-bit?
Fuck no.
No.
Shut up. This is the stupidest thing you've ever said.
No way. Not a chance. Hopefully they move up to a 16 gigabyte card, but I doubt they'll even do that because the last one was 8. So, I mean, they made a lot of money off of, I mean, they could afford it if they really wanted to. The amount of money they made off of Mortal Kombat 11 on the Switch, they could do it, but something tells me they're not going to. So,
Josie, what's your favorite Mortal Kombat?
I like 11. I played a little bit of that on the Xbox, and I thought it was pretty fun.
You ever played the old ones?
I have. My friend's sister had a SNES, so we played it when they like sweated.
That's the best version.
If you got Mortal Kombat 2 on there, then you're talking. That's a really good, but doesn't have the frugality in it though. Frugality is only on the Genesis version because of Fergus McGovern or MacGyver or whatever the fuck his last name was. R.I.P. Fergus.
That one looks cool. I don't know. I'm kind of excited, but I'm gonna wait for the price drop because 11 went on sale for like $20 on the Switch really fast, and I think that's why it sold so well. That's why I'm gonna.
That was the last midnight launch I ever went to. Was Mortal Kombat 11.
You did that because you wanted to try to get it as soon as possible to post footage.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because Switch version, everyone was like, well, "What's the fuck's that gonna look like?"
And then you got it, and you still had to download.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
You should have just preloaded it on the eShop. You thought you were going to run home, pop the cartridge in, you're good to go, and it was
you have to download as much.
It's you know what, 70? Give me that 32 gigabyte cartridge. Tears of the Kingdom was on 32 gigabytes.
Yeah, that's Nintendo. The Witcher was on a 32 gigabyte cartridge too. Yeah.
I think there might have been some shenanigans with the publishing on that. Like somebody handed somebody money.
Yeah, Nintendo definitely did. But I mean, what was it? Final Fantasy 10, I think 10-2. That's also a 32. The Asian version is a 32 gigabyte cartridge. And I think Dragon Quest, the 1 and 2 Asian version, 32 gigabyte. That game never came over. So just Heroes, only that version. Yeah, that's a 32 gigabyte cartridge as well. So there's a few, but it's not very common.
Do we know the gig size for Mortal Kombat 1 yet?
It's gonna be big.
No, it's gonna be big.
I would say 30-ish.
I think it'll be a bigger game on the Switch.
Oh joy.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat 1 though, looking forward to it. Hopefully see some gameplay sooner rather than later. So
it's time to actually do the nudalities. Remember that back in the day? Your friend had the code for the Sonya Blade nudality. I was like, oh no, it's real, it's real. Fucking liars.
I had the Super Nintendo version. I was people were trolling me with the blood code back then, man.
I played both back. I mean, yeah, I had the Super Nintendo one, but my friends also had the Genesis one, so I would just play it whenever I got the opportunity.
My friend had the Genesis one. I had the Super Nintendo one.
Imagine playing the Super Nintendo.
Hey, they fixed it with Mortal Kombat 2, which was a better game anyway.
Yeah, I remember the original Mortal Kombat is like, but yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 fixed, so it was better. You put what you got back. You didn't really complain too much. Whatever you got, you got.
Yeah. Back says Jack 4, baby. Always hope. Sean says no release date yet for WrestleQuest, and May is almost over. Are we worried? I think they mentioned that they actually had to push that game a bit more from what I saw. I might look back into that and double check, but I think they had to push it back a little bit. Samuel says, when do you guys think Switch 2 will release? It's got to be relatively soon. It's coming out next week now. It's holiday 2024.
It's not relatively soon. If you mean like June or something like that, or July or August or September, no. It's probably going to be 2024.
Stone says Bungie is making Marathon. Could be there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Could be.
That'd be interesting to see Marathon pop up. Go back to the roots.
They left Microsoft. We're going to be making new games. We're going to try all kinds of new things. Let's just make Halo the MMO and then make Marathon.
Creation Station says Astro definitely has the strong mascot potential. It's a shame Sony never kept the rights to Spyro and Crash. And then Stone once again says Marathon from Bungie ? Callan Shaw says, when I finished playing Breath of the Wild, I completely missed the Hudson Terrytown quest line. Did it on my pre-Tears of the Kingdom replay. I love this running gag. Soul says, anyone have an interest in the analog duo that launched pre-orders yesterday?
Hell no.
I don't. It's weird because you figure a turbo duo would have that interest, but I just...
No, because nobody has fucking huge.
I don't have any games for it.
Yeah, nobody has those. And you could get an EverDrive Hue card. But what are you gonna do for the disc? Burn a disc? At that rate, you might as well just emulate it. It's not like it's a difficult system to emulate to begin with. Like,
I remember I fixed one of those a long time ago, and the person was desperate to have it work again. So it was, people love those systems. But
the original system, it's worth a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. So yeah, like a capacitor leaked and destroyed a trace, and he was like almost crying, like handing it over. So
yeah, I watched a documentary on those because I never really played them too much outside of like Bonk. You know, my friend had Bonk back in the day, so I watched the anniversary on it, and like low key randomly, I'm watching and one of the guys just disses RGT out of nowhere. I don't know. It was so random.
As he should. No.
Oh, start the beef.
Put it on Twitter.
Start the beef.
I was gonna DM you, but it's just random diss. I'm just like, I can't breathe like at 2 a.m. Like,
what? Who was this?
Check your history. Start the beef. This will be great.
This Nintendo YouTuber over here.
God, dude, I think I have it saved on my phone so I can remember. Let me see. You guys keep talking. I'll find
it. Perfect says if PS3 wasn't a cell processor, would they have won the war back then? I mean, technically, PS3 still sold more, but they would have gotten off to they probably would have had games that run better without the cell. Third party specifically. Perfect then says, hey guys, got Zelda first time for my daughter, and she loves it. Elusive says 90s Doom should definitely be on the list. It was. Doom was on there. Yeah. Hellman says, John, in Tears, you shake your controller to unfuse items easier than wiggling the stick.
Just get to sit there and just go.
I just moved the stick around
every time.
So, yeah, right. It's like the frustration shake for the controller. Yeah. MTS says, in Tears of the Kingdom, do you have to choose between full hearts? Okay, full hearts, full stamina, like Breath of the Wild, or can you get both? I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, in the beginning, you have full everything, so maybe you can get full everything this time. Boot says,
GTV.
Who?
Oh gosh,
GTV.
Oh,
he does documentaries.
Yeah, I know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
The beef begins.
No, he's
cool.
talked shit about me before.
I like his videos, but no, it was funny. I just saw it here. Like, it was like at 2 a.m. Let me check when I record this video. 1:56 a.m. randomly. I'm watching. I'm like literally had a heart attack. I'm like, that was so random to just diss you like that, man. Right. It wasn't that bad though, to be honest. It wasn't that bad.
Boot says Tetris Connected is a total blast for zone battle mode, 1-on-1 ranked. Took forever to break the top 1,000 leaderboard, but I tracked my progress all the way to rank 273 and counting, 1,825 wins. Hey, Tetris Connected, classic, good game. Evan, you said we had Discord questions over there.
Still a good bit, yeah.
Okay, because we'll save Xbox Under Pressure for next week, along with the PlayStation Showcase. So we're running a little.
Yeah, we are running
a little late right now. I fixed that. Okay, I fixed the title. Go ahead. Go ahead, Evan.
So let's go through it. Is Mortal Kombat 1 open world?
Oh, for this.
Which one?
For the
more recent upcoming one, just to be clear.
Okay, sorry.
I just want to be clear.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah. Open world. I don't. They might have like a crypt or something that feels like you can go wherever you want within the bounds of the crypt, but I think they're going to keep it narrative driven, like go from scene to scene to scene to fight and all of that. I feel like that's what they'll do, but we haven't seen it. I don't know.
All right. If the N64 is so good, why is Super Smash Bros. Melee for GameCube so much more popular than Smash 64?
Questions. It's hard to say, Sean. I don't know.
Why is No Mercy more popular than fucking Day of Reckoning? It's apples and oranges.
All right.
Is
there still any chance for Kid Icarus to come back, or has that ship sailed?
I think come back. They could definitely do a remaster for it. Yeah, and in fact, that would actually fit. Remasters right now, I think, fits in Nintendo strategy. So if you're hoping for a remaster, the next 18 months is when you would see it most likely.
Bandai Namco has another listing for a remaster. Now, I don't know if that's Kid Icarus, but
yes, now is the time to cross your fingers for the remaster you want on the Switch. So, right. I think you're going to see some announced.
Maybe Xenosaga, maybe.
I think Nintendo will drop some stuff on Twitter randomly throughout the summer. So.
With the metric that Nintendo uses about how the Switch has sold over 1 billion units of software, how much of that do you think is shovelware, mobile ports, and asset game flips?
Some of it.
I mean, some of it will be.
I mean, that's just how. Anytime you sell a lot of games, it's going to be a lot of it's going to be shovelware and stuff.
I mean, some of the stuff they don't count necessarily every game that I don't think Calculator counts like that. There are some games they don't necessarily count into their own financials. Like, do they count? I don't know if they count certain games under a certain amount.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I mean, like if you go to PS2 or you go to like DS or any of these systems that have sold 100 million plus and have really high software rates, I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah. Like the PS2 was interesting though, because that and the DS in particular sold everything physically, so there was no, as they say, I mean, there was
there was definitely shovelware,
but
and
like
asset flips.
they didn't have games that were just be on the eShop for 99 cents. You know, like we're just sitting there for $1. Some people have marked it down to 49 cents.
It did have the DSi, so I think there was downloadable games on that. But I mean, obviously that wasn't the bulk of what people were buying. It was mainly physical games.
But like on the PS2, it was just you went to the store, you rolled the dice on whatever the box art looked like, and you went home with it, and that was it for $50.
Well, PS2, right? It was like that was started to get into the era where there was more online stuff, where you can look at review. Like IGN got really blew up in popularity, and
that was around that time. Yeah,
it was getting a bit better. But yeah, you're right though. Sometimes you just kind of go to the store and just be like, all right, well,
you just hoped.
Let's just see.
With so many games coming out, not enough time to play them all, games being released unfinished, and people knowing they will be half off in about 3 months, do you think there is a tipping point where the gaming industry will start to slow down heavily?
You mean I don't know, because every time we hear about these established franchises selling, they keep selling more and more. Zelda, God of War. I have a feeling Spider-Man 2 is going to do some stupid number this holiday. So I think you're looking more at games that aren't necessarily established and have these crazy budgets, like the Callisto Protocol. I don't know how they spent so much money in 3 years, but something like that, if they didn't have the big publisher, they probably would have just gone away.
But on the other hand,
that's what
stuff like Pokemon, so like that's an established franchise with a lot of money backing it, and you can see stuff like Tears of the Kingdom. You can see a God of War. You can see the quality is baked in there, and that's why they're still selling these record numbers. But even you have something tried and true as Pokemon, still having all these problems and technical issues, and still hitting these crazy numbers. So how do you even know when you're at a tipping point, when it doesn't matter if you're established or not? You can have these problems or not, and something's going to sell, something's not going to sell. I don't know. We're such a weird spot in gaming, where we're so much of us just like overlook a lot of it because like, well, I just want to play the game, maybe patches will get it. And that's exactly where they wanted us to be, right? They want to get the game out, send out a patch for it later.
Brand recognition is strong, man. Like if you've got an IP, I mean, as long as the game is just decent enough.
The tipping point is going to be when budgets get too high and they're having a hard time manage that. That's when there's a problem.
No,
so
the tipping point is if GTA 6 launches and it is a broken, buggy, unplayable mess. That is the moment everything changes. Because if the biggest, most anticipated, most expensive game of like all time for people comes out after over a decade of work on it, and it just cannot do anything. Like, I'm not talking about a couple issues. I'm talking like it is just functionally broken. Day one, it's over. You're going to hear the biggest uproar probably ever in gaming of just every type of gamer, whether you're super into the echo chambers like we are, or just the casual person who's going to pick up the game to play after work. It's, I don't know. I think that's the type of level of game that would start something like that to be fixed.
Yeah. Take-Two just needs to leave that in development until it's ready.
I think that's what they're doing.
I definitely think that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
How many generations? We're on the third.
It's been
generation.
A while. It's been a long time.
Still got a bit.
This game's gonna last for 15 to 20 years. I honestly think they're gonna milk this game for 15 to 20 years.
Go, Evan.
With PlayStation, Xbox Showcase both upcoming, how do you think they will try to outdo each other's hype?
They won't, because I don't think Microsoft can.
Yeah,
Microsoft's just gonna do their thing, man.
They're just gonna focus on that Game Pass thing and hope.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're gonna show Starfield. No, some stuff to show off, but PlayStation, I think they're going to hit pretty hard this week. So, there'll be a lot of games happening, being shown in the next month. So, exciting stuff.
What do you think happens if the CMA in the UK keeps objecting to Microsoft and Activision, but every other country allows it? Do they just go forward anyway?
I'd like to answer that question more in depth, but I'm going to tell you now, 99% of people on YouTube are not equipped to answer that. The CMA stuff is just... I mean, we've talked about it forever now, it feels like, with the Xbox deal, and that's why I don't even include it in the shows anymore, because Sean is probably going to like pass out whenever we talk about it. Like, actually,
I wouldn't show up. I would fucking lie and be like,
he asks me all the time, is that in there? I'm like, no, this is good. I'll be there. I don't know.
This is
Microsoft
so
will do
redundant.
what Microsoft does, but I think they're going to push the deal through either way. I think they'll figure it out.
Not only does Xbox need games, they also need a modern controller. What is stopping Microsoft from adding haptics at the very least to the aging controller design?
There's nothing wrong with the Xbox controller design.
I think they could use some work to it.
Haptics would be nice.
Split up
Haptics, gyro. They have no gyro on it at all, which is weird to me.
You act like gyro. Everyone uses gyro. Hardly anyone uses gyro.
I use it on. I was just using it on Zelda earlier.
I turn it off.
What? Really? When you go to aim, you don't have like that as like the precise aim for.
No.
You don't use it for Splatoon?
No.
Oh, it's actually pretty good in Splatoon. I actually got used to it and used Splatoon.
It's nice to have in there. I do think that it's good to have it as an option, that you can turn on or off. So and Phil Spencer did talk about that. Like, would you guys like to see some, like a pro controller that actually has like haptics and some new features? So I think they're probably working.
I'd like to see more innovation on the controller side from Xbox.
How would you feel about a Shaolin Monks sequel that follows Mortal Kombat 3 and adds other playable protagonists like Johnny Cage, Sonya, or Jax?
Fine.
I like it. Let's do it.
I hate it. No, I'm joking.
Good.
Ship it. Let's go.
V Rising has just released a major update and is still in early access. It's amazing to see how a game already in such a great state. It's amazing to see a game already in such a great state, despite all the games we see releasing right now. Have you played it yet?
Sean, I know, played about 30 hours of it so far, and he could probably give us a good rundown.
Yep. What is it?
V Rising.
V Rising.
It's top-down action multiplayer thing. I think I'm the only one here that played it, and I played it.
I haven't played it. See, look, there we go.
I played it before the update. I played it for like 10 minutes. It's.
Is it not good?
Well, I before that I played fucking that other ARPG MMO that came, Lost Ark, and that killed ARPGs for me for a while. I don't want to play them for a bit.
It was bad.
It's just there's so much in it. It was so stupid. There's so many hours.
Hey, I'm about to. I guess still gotta try Star Rail. Okay, I'll let you know about V Rising after that.
Who's everyone's dream guest on the Spawncast? I'm gonna go with Nate the Hate.
Oh, it'd be good to get him.
Yeah, it'd be great to
Dream
get.
guest.
Yeah.
Dream guest. I don't know. I never really thought about that. I need to get Phil Spencer on here one time just to talk to Sean.
Reggie.
Seriously, just shut up.
It's like he's here with us.
What about Reggie? What if we had Reggie on the Spawncast?
Get Reggie. Yeah, get Reggie on here.
Why?
Tell us about the Bigfoot pizza
and the Mother 3. Why Mother 3 never came out?
He would see that we'd like submit the questions to him. He'd see that on there and cancel immediately. He wouldn't even show up.
Or Jim Ryan. What if we had Jim Ryan, bro? That would be crazy.
Jim Ryan. He could come on, but he has to wear his PlayStation headset the whole time.
All right, this is where we get to like the little ones, I guess. What time does everyone normally wake up for the day?
Usually around 8.
Early,
9:30.
9:30.
1 p.m. But I work night
College
shifts.
student, yeah.
That's why.
We already kind of talked about Bloodborne. It's just basically, is it time for Bloodborne on PS5? I mean, everyone seems to want it.
No.
Yes.
It's been time.
Keep it on PS4.
And on PC.
No.
Keep it on PS4. Locked to an unstable 30 for no reason.
Keep it up. PS4. We don't need a PS5 version.
For those that played Overwatch, what did you guys main?
Tracer.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I played a lot of Overwatch on the PS4 when it launched.
That was like another lifetime ago.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Tracer was awesome.
Zenyatta was me back in the day, but that was it.
I know, Evan, you played a lot of
Sombra.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right, we're good.
Okay, and then Phil Spencer sells PS5s better than Jim Ryan. Says, hey, Breath of the Wild, but after 20 hours, Tears of the Kingdom, it's a good game. Safe to say that this is as good as Final Fantasy 13, which also takes around the same time to get good. It's an interesting turn.
The fact that somebody should go arrest that guy for putting Final Fantasy 13 and Tears of the Kingdom in the same sentence. Like that should be like arrest on the spot.
That was random. All right.
Yeah, that even as a joke, that's not even a good joke.
Game says Mystic Ryan for next week's Spawncast. We might need Ryan for next week after the showcase. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And then Yum says bring Kit and Krista here sometime, maybe. Yeah, we should. Then Sean can talk to him. Sean has some questions, and I think it'd be a
solid conversation.
I think it'd be a great show. Yeah, Kit and Krista, absolutely. Or just I think I see sometimes Kit shows up to the podcast or Krista, even one of them. I think it'd be fun. Let me go around here as we finish up. Let's go to Josie. Where could everyone find you?
Find me at Josie Will on YouTube and Twitch. I stream and I have videos about Nintendo. It's a good time.
What was your last video you did?
I did first impressions on Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, people should go check that out. Go check that out. Sean, after show tonight?
Yeah, I'll run it for a little bit.
Okay. So you go and get that set up. We'll come back around to you. Jordan, where can I find you?
You can find me on Jordan Fringe or Jordan Fringe Gaming here on YouTube. I have some big videos coming out here soon. The big one I'm working on, I don't want to say how long it is yet, but it's longer than my Hey Arnold video, which is 7.5 hours long.
Certainly thick.
And it's going to be a really big one. It's it may be close to capping out on what you're allowed to upload on YouTube. So it's on the show Survivor. I've already announced it. So it's on the show Survivor. It's a big project. So yeah, not a lot of sleep for me recently or going forward right now. So check that out if you want. Thanks for having me on.
Over on Streamlabs, John says, after recent comments from Alnuma saying this is the formula they will stick to, do you think we are ever getting another 2D Zelda or 2D Zelda remake or a more traditional Zelda again?
The 2D remakes that have nothing to do with the 3D development. They have a different developer, so that doesn't include that.
Right.
In terms of the traditional like Zelda and that formula, like Ocarina of Time, no, there's no point to go back to that because you can just incorporate aspects of that into the newer style. OJ,
where can everyone find you?
Find me in Hyrule. No, find me right here on YouTube. I got some cool videos coming up on RPGs that we could be seeing. So if you're into RPGs, Final Fantasy 16, stuff like that. I also stream, so just Player Essence. Oh, and we're giving away a Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. We just gave away a Switch. KC got that, so now we are giving away a Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition. So go subscribe to the channel and enter in. Vote on your favorite link, Tears of the Kingdom ability. So yeah, go subscribe, enter.
Mr. Stud Muffin says, can't wait to see y'all at Too Many Games next month. This will mark my 3rd year in a row attending, and hopefully RGT finally shows up to sign my 4 copies of Balan Wonderworld. We're trying to get Sean out there.
Yeah, we're
trying. I'm trying. Ricky says, been playing Steam Deck and other Windows handheld for a while and went back to the Switch for Tears of the Kingdom. Didn't realize how much I missed the OLED screen and Switch battery life. The Switch definitely needs an upgrade, but still an awesome device. And then Ricky says, John, PlayStation Showcase, choose one announcement from Capcom, Mega Man Legends 3 or Mega Man X9. I'm gonna say Mega Man X9. I want to see what that would look like now. And Evan, where can everyone find you?
Find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram at Kimmerix Project. I'm just chugging along with videos there. People seem interested, which is confusing to me. But yeah.
Okay, and then Sean, after show going on, you want to drop that link and everything?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy. Got a lot of big reviews coming. Nah, just come over to the after show. I got a bitch about Walgreens on the after show. I got a beef with Walgreens.
Do you have to tell me I was right as well?
Right about what?
How it's the Nuggets year.
The Nuggets ain't beating the Heat.
Nuggets can definitely beat the Heat.
Sean told me that the Lakers were going to beat the Nuggets. And,
I thought the Lakers were. I'm very surprised.
3-0 now.
Murray's tearing them a new one.
Or we're already in after show territory.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Got the PlayStation Showcase. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys then.